Chapter 480. When the 8 giants saw Ning Fan holding the ancestral talisman, their eyes were filled with reverence. All of a sudden, they made way for him. As the guards of the demon conferral peak, they had always been arrogant. However, they did not dare to show any disrespect towards an ancestral symbol wielder. Please enter the palace to take the second test. Yes. Ning Fan nodded his head indifferently. He pushed open the gates of the Devil Talisman Palace and walked into the palace. The palace was vast and boundless. It was pitch black, and there was a faint smell of blood in the air. The moment Ning Fan entered the palace, the doors of the palace suddenly closed on their own. Countless dark red lights lit up in all directions. This was a huge copper palace made of black copper. Countless red copper palace lanterns stood on both sides of the copper palace. The lanterns were burning with lipid-like lamp oil, and the smell of blood was coming from the lamp oil. Inside the copper palace, there were a total of 108 high platforms with 108 thrones. On every throne, there was a statue of a giant that was more than 15,000 zhang tall. They wore black armor, and their chests were inlaid with damaged devil symbols. Each and every one of them was damaged beyond repair. Yet they still contained a vast amount of essence qi. Ning Fan roughly estimated that if he devours a broken talisman, he would be able to increase his essence qi by at least 10,000 units. Ning Fan could see that as long as he revealed his intention to seize the remnant talisman, those giant stone statues sitting on the thrones would come to life and attack him. Each of the giants here was at least at the early stage Reckless Devil Realm. The second stage of the Demon Sealing stage required him to devour at least 8 remnant talismans, which meant that he had to kill at least 8 giants, which would increase his essence energy by at least 80,000 units. If he swallowed all 108 incomplete talismans, then he would be able to increase his vital essence by 1.08 million units, which was equivalent to the total vital essence of an early-stage Reckless Devil. The second test is both a test and a fortuitous opportunity. The Devil Conferral Summit was the sacred ground for rewarding and testing newly advanced Reckless Devils. If you want to obtain the highest Devil bestowment, then you must bring out your strongest strength. Ning Fan took a step forward, and his body shone with millions of rays of dark golden light. The power of his golden body had yet to completely transform into the power of the Reckless Devil, but he still retained his physical body of the second level of the Golden Body realm. Why would he be afraid of a group of early Reckless Devils? He walked straight to one of the thrones, intending to snatch the remnant talisman. Sensing Ning Fan's approach, countless stone chips peeled off from the giant statue's body. It suddenly stood up and emitted a heaven-shaking aura force. The giant took a step forward, and the entire copper palace began to shake. He waved his huge demonic palm, and the essence energy in his huge body soared into the sky, turning into layers of demonic clouds that covered the sky. His palm slammed down on Ning Fan's head. The 10,000 zhang palm imprint pressed down, shattering the surrounding space. Its destructive power was far stronger than the full force attack of an ordinary Void Glimpse stage cultivator. Ancient Devil Dao, Execution Devil Palm, First Seal. This was a type of devil martial body technique that was displayed by the giant. Even though it only had the first layer of palm imprint, its power was much stronger than a low-grade mortal void body technique. Ning Fan activated his right devil eye and observed all the essence qi flowing within the giant's body. Imitating the movements of a giant, Zhang Xian thrust his palm toward the sky as well. He had secretly learned the giant body art. Ancient Devil Dao, Execution Devil Palm, First Seal. Boom. The 2 devil palm imprints collided with each other. The giant's palm imprint crumbled, but Ning Fan's palm imprint did not lose its momentum at all. All of a sudden, it pressed down on the giant's body, smashing it into countless stone fragments. After all, the giant was just an early Reckless Devil Realm expert, while Ning Fan was a body cultivator at the second level of the Golden Body Refining Realm. An early Reckless Devil Realm giant was definitely not a match for him. After Ning Fan killed the first giant, the remnant talisman embedded in the giant's body floated in front of him. Ning Fan raised his palm and activated the ancestral talisman in his palm. After devouring the remnant talisman, the essence qi in his body instantly increased by 10,000 units. Next, it's the second giant. Ning Fan took a step towards the second throne. However, this time, two giants stood up from the thrones at the same time and attacked Ning Fan at the same time. Ancient Devil Dao, Execution Devil Palm, second seal. Ancient Devil Dao, Execution Devil Palm, third seal. Two gigantic palm imprints were sent out by the giants and they pressed down on Ning Fan. The devil stars in Ning Fan's right eye flashed continuously. He thrust out both of his palms at the same time, secretly learning the palm imprints of the two giants. Ancient Devil Dao, Execution Devil Palm, second seal and third seal. Boom Boom. Ning Fan was a dignified body refinement expert at the second level of the Golden Body Refining Realm. Why would he be afraid of two early reckless Devil Realm experts? His palm imprints directly shattered the two giants' palms. Moreover, the remaining force did not diminish and shattered the two giants into pieces. The two remnant talismans flew out and were devoured by Ning Fan. Another 20,000 units of essence chi were added to his body. Ning Fan did not continue to challenge the giants. Instead, he stared at the fourth throne in silence. In the first challenge, there was only one giant who came out to challenge him. The second challenge was against two giants. If Ning Fan's prediction was correct, there would be more giants who would come out to challenge him in the third challenge. Moreover, there would be more giants each time. Moreover, Ning Fan had a hunch that every reckless Devil Stone statue in this place was proficient in different palm imprints. If there were only one or two early reckless Devil Stone statues, Ning Fan would not be afraid. However, if a group of giants swarmed him at the same time, he would not underestimate them. Lightning armor appear. With the protection of the primordial lightning armor, Ning Fan's defensive power increased tremendously. He circulated his lightning art to repair the slight damage on his lightning armor. With a complete set of lightning armor, he was like a golden god. It was enough to deal with all the changes in this place. He took a step towards the fourth throne. As he expected, this time, four giants stood up at the same time. Ancient Devil Dao, Execution Devil Palm, fourth seal. Fifth seal. Sixth seal. Seventh seal. Four giants and four palm imprints attacked Ning Fan at the same time. Each of the palm imprints was powerful enough to severely injure a Void Glimpse stage expert. Even a Void Inquiry stage expert would be injured by the joint attack of four palm imprints. Ning Fan's eyes flashed. As expected, he was right. There would be more and more giants and the palm imprints of each of them would be different. Ning Fan did not take even half a step back. The devil star in his right eye flashed intensely, and he learned the four palm imprints. He struck out both of his palms at the same time, and delivered the fourth and fifth palm imprints to two of the giants, killing them. With the powerful defense of his lightning armor, he forcefully withstood the attacks of the other two giants. Boom! Amidst the smoke and dust, Ning Fan's golden armor remained undamaged. The joint attack of two palm imprints could not break the defense of his lightning armor. He raised his palms again and delivered the sixth and seventh palm imprints, killing the remaining two giants. He raised his hand and activated the power of the ancestral talismans, devouring the remnant talismans of the four giants. His essence chi increased by 40,000 units. His eyes scanned across the eighth throne, and he vaguely guessed the pattern of the increase in the number of giants who would fight him. There would be one person challenging him once, two people challenging him twice, four people challenging him thrice and 8 people challenging him 4 times. I can still fight against 8 early reckless Devil Realm experts. Ning Fan turned into smoke with a single step and approached the 8th throne. What he used was the void teleportation technique. Stone chips fell from the 8 stone statues. The 8 giants suddenly stood up and attacked Ning Fan with their palm imprints. Ancient Devil Dao, Execution Devil Palm, 8th palm imprint. 9th palm imprint. 10th palm imprint. 15th palm imprint. There were so many palm imprints. Even Ning Fan's Mo Luo, I could not learn all of them at once. Even though he had the lightning armor, he was unwilling to take on 8 palm imprints at the same time. The combined attack of these 8 palm imprints was not any weaker than King Yinglong's attack. Even if they could not break his lightning armor, they would at least cause some cracks on it. 8 black burning wings appear. 8 massive black fire wings suddenly appeared on Ning Fan's back. Originally, The speed of the 8 black burning wings was already comparable to a void inquiry stage expert. After Ning Fan mastered the void teleportation technique and integrated it into the black wings, his speed had surpassed the void inquiry stage and reached the void pierce stage. A faint fiery light flashed and Ning Fan had already disappeared into the distance. He avoided 7 of the palm imprints and only got hit by 1 of them. His lightning armor easily neutralized the power of the palm imprint. During this confrontation, Ning Fan had learned another 4 types of palm imprints. His eyes flashed with killing intent. He dashed towards the 8th giant at an unimaginable speed and directly pressed his palm on the giant's head. As soon as he exerted his palm force, the powerful giant who had an early reckless Devil Realm cultivation base was directly shattered into pieces. Countless hollow space was shattered by the residual force of his palm force. The remaining 7 giants continued to launch attacks at Ning Fan with empty eyes. This time, Ning Fan activated his Devil Eye and learned the remaining 4 types of palm imprints one by one. He could already tell that the execution devil palm was divided into countless palm imprints. Each of the palm imprints could be overlapped and fused together. The destructive power of a single palm imprint was equivalent to a low-grade mortal void body technique. If 15 palm imprints are fused together, its destructive power would be equivalent to a mid-grade mortal void body technique, which was much stronger than King Yinglong's moon-tearing dragon technique. Traces of enlightenment rose in Ning Fan's mind. He suddenly sent out a palm strike. The light of 15 layers of palm imprints rose above his palm. His essence chi rapidly flowed into his palm. Ancient Devil Dao, Execution Devil Palm. The destructive power of Ning Fan's palm strike was far beyond the palm imprints of ordinary giants. It was a combination of 15 layers of palm imprints. This palm strike was comparable to a mid-grade mortal void body technique. When it was displayed by Ning Fan, even ordinary void inquiry stage old monsters would not be able to withstand it. This palm strike was the first time that it triggered a strange phenomenon in heaven and earth. When Ning Fan sent out his palm imprints, the shadows of countless ancient devils appeared behind him. All of them kowtowed to Ning Fan at the same time. Countless devil roars shook heaven and earth. Boom! The joint attack of the 7 giants was shattered by Ning Fan's palm strike. Countless hollow space was forcefully shattered. After the residual force of the palm strike broke the joint attack of the 7 giants, it continued to press down on the remaining 7 giants. 3 of them died under his palm strike while 4 of them were severely injured. Ning Fan did not show any mercy. He sent out another palm strike and instantly killed 4 giants. However, half of the essence chi in his body had been consumed. After devouring the remnant talismans of the 8 giants, Ning Fan looked inside his body and took a deep breath. This execution devil palm was truly an extremely domineering devil martial technique. Not only was it powerful, but it also consumed a large amount of essence chi. This was just the combination of 15 palm imprints, and it already consumed so much power. If I learn all of the palm imprints and combine them into one, what grade would this palm strike reach? It would probably exhaust all of my essence chi, wouldn't it? Ning Fan did not go to challenge the 16th throne. Instead, he sat cross-legged in the Copper Palace, consumed a devil pill and adjusted his essence chi. In the second stage of the devil sealing test, one would only need to obtain 8 remnant talismans to pass the test. Ning Fan had already obtained 15 remnant talismans. If he leaves the Devil Talisman Palace now, he would immediately pass the test. However, he did not plan to leave just like that. Instead, he tried to obtain more opportunities. Each remnant talisman was equivalent to 10,000 units of essence chi. Every time he killed a giant, he would be able to learn one more type of palm imprint. Ning Fan tried to kill all of the giants and obtain all the remnant talismans in order to learn the complete execution devil palm. If he succeeds in learning this devil palm, it would be the first devil martial technique that he learns. It would be even more powerful than the moon-tearing dragon technique. 3 days later, Ning Fan's essence chi recovered to its peak state. He suddenly rose to his feet and walked towards the 16th throne to face the 16 giants. Another 3 days passed. Ning Fan went through a fierce battle and adjusted his breathing again. Then he walked towards the 32nd throne to face the 32nd giants. 5 days later, Ning Fan walked towards the 64th throne to face the last 45 giants. No one knew what kind of bloody battle Ning Fan had gone through. Another 4 days passed. Half a month had passed since Ning Fan entered the Devil Talisman Palace. Inside the Devil Talisman Palace, there were only 108 empty thrones and stone fragments scattered all over the ground. Ning Fan's face was pale. There were countless wounds on his body. Even his lightning armor had been shattered. Even though he had used all of his techniques, it was inevitable for him to sustain heavy injuries when fighting against so many giants. He used the heaven-deceiving cloak to conceal himself, and the Black Star technique to heal his wounds. Time after time, he went invisible and launched sneak attacks, gradually killing all of the giants. Each of the giants only knew one type of palm imprint. They did not know how to see through the concealment technique. After Ning Fan went invisible, all of the giants returned to their thrones, giving Ning Fan a chance to recuperate. Only then did he manage to eliminate all of them. Currently, Ning Fan's body contained the power of 108 remnant talismans. The total amount of essence chi in his body had exceeded 5 million units. The standard for the early Void Refinement Realm magic power, and the standard for the early Reckless Devil Realm magic power, were both 1 million units. The standard for the mid-Void Refinement Realm, and the mid-Reckless Devil Realm magic power, were 3 million units. The standard for the late Reckless Devil Realm magic power was 10 million units, while the standard for the peak Reckless Devil Realm magic power was 20 million units. 5 million units of essence chi was equivalent to half of the late Reckless Devil Realm magic power. Ning Fan had only slaughtered in the Devil Talisman Palace for half a month and his essence chi had increased by 1 million units. It was definitely a great harvest. One should know that even the blood wine that Ning Fan brewed with great effort could only increase his magic power by a few 100,000 units. The Devil Conferral Summit was indeed the holy land of ancient devils. In this place, as long as you perform well in the test, you would be able to obtain heaven-defying rewards. Other than the improvement of his ancient devil cultivation base, Ning Fan had also learned the complete execution palm imprint after killing the 108 giants. There were a total of 108 palm imprints. When all the palm imprints were superimposed, their destructive power was comparable to a high-grade Mortal Void Devil Martial technique. Moreover, since this body technique was a Devil Martial technique, its destructive power was naturally much stronger than body techniques. Moreover, it was not just a little bit stronger. An ordinary high-grade Mortal Void body technique was certainly not as powerful as a Devil Martial technique of the same level. Execution Devil Palm. This technique is extremely powerful. It's enough to instantly kill King Yinglong. However, with my essence chi, which is over 5 million units, I can only use this palm technique once and all of my essence chi will be exhausted. The essence chi of an ancient devil can't be increased by using the soul extraction technique or a secret technique. If I don't have enough essence chi to use this palm technique multiple times, I can only keep this palm technique as my trump card and use it at a critical moment. Ning Fan shook his head with slight regret. If he had enough essence chi to use this technique, he would only need to use it 7 times in a row to instantly kill the 7 Void Inquiry Stage Devil Spirits in the Mist Horn Broken World. If he only had the power of a single palm technique, he would not be able to use it easily. However, with his current strength, he could still use other techniques such as the Moon-Tearing Dragon technique. Thus, he was not afraid of any Void Inquiry Stage Devil Spirits. I wonder what the reward for the second test will be. Ning Fan had obtained the Remnant Talisman and the Execution Devil Palm with his own strength. They were not considered as the reward for the second test. Before Ning Fan leaves the Devil Talisman Palace, there should be other rewards. With a thought in his mind, a ray of black light suddenly appeared in the Devil Talisman Palace and floated in front of Ning Fan. It was another black sandalwood box. Inside this wooden box was also a black crystal. Ning Fan sensed that the inheritance inside the crystal seemed to be some kind of devil martial cultivation method. Ning Fan was greatly surprised. He did not expect that the reward for the second test would be a devil martial cultivation method. He could not help but feel a little disappointed. Compared to devil martial cultivation methods, He was more interested in obtaining some precious devil pills and devil medicines to improve his essence chi and cultivation base. In the first test, Ning Fan had obtained the void teleportation technique of the ancient devil race. It was quite useful. As for the second test, Ning Fan had already learned the execution devil palm. He did not lack devil martial cultivation methods for the time being. If he is given another type of devil martial cultivation method, it would seem a little useless. Forget it. Let's see what level of devil martial cultivation method it is. With my achievement of killing 108 giants, even if the reward is a devil martial cultivation method, it won't be too bad. When Ning Fan's finger touched the crystal, it broke into pieces. Then, an ancient voice resounded in his sea of consciousness. In the beginning, Ning Fan did not have much expectations for this devil martial cultivation method. However, after receiving the inheritance of this devil martial cultivation method, his eyes gradually revealed a hint of astonishment. The reward of the second test should not be underestimated. It was exactly what he wanted. The devil martial cultivation method of the ancient devil race, the killing technique. When fighting against an enemy, every time you kill someone, you can extract the blood essence from the victim's body to replenish your essence chi. The higher the cultivation base of the person you kill, the more essence chi you can replenish. In the ancient devil race, this technique is a great ability that is comparable to the soul extraction technique. Ning Fan could not help but be astonished. This technique was indeed too heaven-defying. The soul extraction technique could extract the souls of heaven and earth to increase the upper limit of magic power. The killing technique could recover essence chi in the process of killing. The more people you kill, the more essence chi you recover. Even in ancient times, not every member of the ancient devil race knew this ability. Today it was unknown how many people still knew this secret technique. At least, Ning Fan was sure that there was no devil race that was proficient in this technique in the 9 worlds of the lower world. As for the 9 great ancient devil abysses in the upper world, perhaps there were some powerful devil races that knew this technique. Now that Ning Fan had learned this heaven-defying devil martial cultivation method, he did not need to worry about not having enough essence chi no matter how many enemies there are. As long as the ancient devil race was strong enough, no matter how many enemies there were, they would just be courting death. With the killing technique, Ning Fan did not need to worry about not having enough essence chi after using the execution devil palm. He just needed to kill people to replenish his essence chi. The reward of the second test was exactly what Ning Fan wanted. He calmly walked out of the Devil Talisman Palace. The 8 giants of the reckless devil clan who were standing outside the palace stared at Ning Fan, as if they had seen a ghost. They knew everything that Ning Fan had done in the Devil Talisman Palace. They could not imagine that Ning Fan had actually obtained 108 remnant talismans and killed 108 giants with his own strength. Even if these 8 early reckless devil clan giants attacked him together, they would definitely not be a match for Ning Fan alone. What shocked them the most was that the reward that Ning Fan obtained was actually the killing technique. Each of them was extremely shocked, and they cried out involuntarily. The killing technique is one of the 9 great forbidden techniques that the master strictly forbade from teaching to outsiders when he was still alive. He rarely bestowed it to the reckless devil clan. Why would he teach it to this young man today? Could it be that the master really appreciates this young man? Master? Ning Fan's eyes indifferently swept across the 8 giants and fell into deep thought. The master that the 8 giants mentioned was most likely the senior expert who founded the Devil Conferral Summit. The era where the Devil Conferral Summit existed was even before the 9 great devil ancestors. That senior was probably someone who was even stronger than Great Emperor Mo Luo. However, judging from the 2 words when he was still alive, that the giants mentioned, that senior who possessed heaven-shaking means had already passed away and was no longer alive. Ning Fan could not help but feel a little disappointed. The 9 great devil ancestors had all been suppressed for tens of thousands of years. The senior of the devil race who founded the Devil Conferral Summit had also ceased to exist a long time ago. Most of the ancient devils had also gone extinct. No one knew how many years had it been since an ancient devil had entered the Devil Conferral Summit. The first step of cultivation was for longevity. The second step was for the truth of the Tao. However, what was after the truth of the Tao? All the pursuits would eventually turn into dust and disappear. All the false reputations would eventually cease to exist. Humans were strange living beings. They always pursued illusory things while neglecting the important things around them. Sure enough, instead of pursuing illusory things like longevity and the truth of the Tao on the path of cultivation, it would be better to seize the present and protect the peace and happiness of this moment. Ning Fan's eyes were calm. Throughout his path of cultivation, he did not seek longevity, nor did he seek to dominate the world. All he wanted was to hold on to the warmth that flowed away from his palm. At this moment, his eyes carried a kind of carefreeness that came from the bottom of his heart. He was not bound by righteousness or evil, gods or devils. He was not bound by the truth of the Tao of longevity. Compared to countless powerful cultivators who only cared about personal gains, he was much more indifferent. He was closer to the great Tao of inaction. When the 8 giants saw Ning Fan's current gaze, all of them were stunned. The carefree temperament in his eyes was too similar to that of their former master. Their tone towards Ning Fan unconsciously became a little more respectful. Please continue to ascend to the summit and accept the third test. Ning Fan nodded his head. His figure turned into a wisp of smoke, and continued to float to a higher place using the void teleportation technique. This time, there were no more giants blocking his way all the way to the summit of the clouds. Occasionally, the shadows of the giants who were on guard duty along the way became respectful when they saw Ning Fan's arrival. Obviously, they knew that Ning Fan possessed the royal bloodline and ancestral talisman. Moreover, he had killed 108 reckless devil giants in a row. At the highest point of the Devil Conferral Summit, there was a sea of blood with black mist floating in the void. Ning Fan stood above the sea of blood. This place was the highest point of the Devil Conferral Summit. It was also the place where the third test would take place. However, this time, there were no giants to explain the process of the test to Ning Fan. At the moment when Ning Fan arrived, the sea of blood suddenly churned with countless blood bubbles. A carp that was as black as ink suddenly leaped out of the sea of blood. With a shake of its body, it turned into a handsome man in black robes. I will be the host of the third test. I will fight against you with the same level of strength as you. If you win, you will pass the third test. If you lose, you only need to receive 3 attacks from me, and you will pass the test. However, the reward for passing the test will be reduced by half. I believe you won't be willing to lose to me. The black-robed man's eyes were as deep as an abyss. His expression was cold like a piece of ice that would never melt for 10,000 years. He could see through Ning Fan's character with just a single glance. Ning Fan could clearly feel that this black-robed man had already died countless years ago. What he left behind was just a remnant of his will. However, just this remnant of his will was already so powerful that Ning Fan found it hard to breathe. The black-robed man deliberately sealed his cultivation base to the early reckless devil realm, as if he wanted to fight Ning Fan at the same level as him. After all, even though Ning Fan had the second level of the golden body refining realm, he had yet to completely transform into the ancient devil realm. Thus, he could not be considered as the true reckless devil realm yet. The fact that the black-robed man was fighting Ning Fan with his early reckless devil realm cultivation base could be considered as him having a slight advantage over Ning Fan. Even so, the aura of this black-robed man at the early reckless devil realm was already stronger than Prince Lanling's second primordial spirit. Prince Lanling was a genius like Yin Tianjue. His second primordial spirit at the Void Inquiry stage could kill ordinary Void Pierce stage experts. The aura force of this black-robed man at the early reckless devil realm was already comparable to Prince Lanling's second primordial spirit. His innate potential was naturally far beyond Prince Lanling's. In the era that he was still alive, this person was definitely a monstrous genius who rarely had a match at the same level as him. Senior, may I ask who you are? I'm the 7th Immortal Emperor under Immortal Emperor Zido. Mo Zhong, what? Immortal Emperor Mo Zhong. Ning Fan's eyes flashed with astonishment. He used to be Zido's disciple in the illusory realm. He had heard Zido mention about his subordinates by chance. One of them was an immortal emperor named Mo Zhong. During Zido's era, He was an immortal king that commanded 1 billion immortal emperors, and Immortal Emperor Mo Zhong was ranked 7th among the 1 billion immortal emperors. Ning Fan could vaguely guess that the master of this devil conferral summit was probably Immortal Emperor Mo Zhong. His gaze became even more solemn. He didn't expect that he would fight against Immortal Emperor Mo Zhong, who was at the same level as him, in the 3rd stage of the demon sealing stage. Many geniuses boasted that they were invincible at the same level. However, this invincibility was just a general term and not true invincibility. They could only say that they were superior to most cultivators at the same level. However, Immortal Emperor Mo Zhong was absolutely invincible within the same realm. Outside of a few rare existences, no one could stand shoulder to shoulder with him. Ning Fan really wanted to know if he could defeat Mo Zhong, who was at the same realm as him. If you don't dare to accept my challenge, then receive 3 moves from me and I will consider it as you passing the test. Immortal Emperor Mo Zhong was still as cold as ever. Why wouldn't I dare? Ning Fan took a step forward. His aura force rose sharply above the sea of blood. He was not afraid at all. To be able to fight against an ancient great emperor at the same level as him was something that could only be discovered by luck. If you want to fight, I will fight. Chapter 481. Immortal Emperor Mo Zhong's appearance gradually became younger. In the end, he completely turned into a handsome young man with a cold face. He was born in the ancient immortal domain. Since he was young, his clan provided him with countless cultivation resources. He stepped onto the path of cultivation from the moment he was born. Even when he became a reckless Devil Realm cultivator, he still maintained his youthful appearance. Compared to Ning Fan, who was just a cultivator, Mo Zhong had obviously started cultivating earlier, and his starting point was higher. His cold eyes suddenly shone with 2 rays of light that were as dazzling as the sun. An unusual sense of pressure shot out from his eyes. It was like sunlight shining on the mortal world, and also like the Milky Way pouring down from the 9 heavens. When I was at the early reckless Devil Realm, the divine weapon I used was a 2-star divine weapon, the Sad Devil Axe. Now that he was fighting against Ning Fan, it was impossible for Immortal Emperor Mo Zhong to create a Sad Devil Axe at the last moment. He bent his finger and the turbid sea of blood under his feet suddenly became crystal clear. Countless reflections could be seen in it. As he willed it, the reflections of the sea of blood gradually turned into an ink painting in his memory. It was a painting in the water. It depicted the scenery of the ancient immortal domain. There was a young man in black robes who was fighting against someone with an axe. Mo Zhong looked like he was trying to fish out the moon from a mirror. He reached into the water and fished out the shadow of the axe from the painting. With a flick of his finger, the illusory shadow of the axe gradually became real. Eventually, it turned into a 2-star divine axe made of black metal. It was the Sad Devil Axe that Mo Zhong used when he was young, turning illusion into reality. Ning Fan's eyes turned solemn. The technique that Immortal Emperor Mo Zhong used to summon the Sad Devil Axe was the turning illusion into reality technique that only true immortals could achieve. Being able to witness an ancient great emperor using this technique with his own eyes was definitely a rare experience. It would be greatly beneficial for him to comprehend the word truth in the future. It's starting. Mo Zhong reminded Ning Fan. He suddenly took a step forward and his body turned into countless traces of smoke that dissipated. What he used was obviously the void teleportation technique. When Mo Zhong was still at the early reckless Devil Realm, he already displayed an extremely high talent in teleportation techniques. His speed was comparable to a void-pierce stage expert. Ning Fan's back was filled with warning signs. He tried his best to activate his demon and devil eyes, but he could only catch a trace of Mo Zhong's shadow. Without hesitation, he summoned the 8 black burning wings and flapped them, turning into a ray of black flames and disappeared on the spot. At the moment when he disappeared, an axe light chopped down from behind him, chopping the air. The power of the axe split hundreds of thousands of miles of the blood sea in half. Countless voids were shattered by this axe. The strength of the axe was enough to kill a void inquiry stage expert instantly. Even the primordial lightning armor might not necessarily be able to withstand the force of the axe. Not bad. Zhong appeared with his axe in hand and praised indifferently. Ning Fan also appeared 10,000 zhang away from Zhong. His back was already drenched with cold sweat. Zhong's attack was just too fast. If Ning Fan's speed was just a little slower, he would have been severely injured by that axe strike. Ning Fan did not dare to be careless. He touched his glabella, and the Separation Slayer sword turned into a ray of starlight. Seeing that Ning Fan also had a 2-star divine weapon, Zhong nodded slightly and directly rushed towards Ning Fan. Sad Devil's first axe power. As he raised the axe, essence chi gathered on the bones of his arm, and all the strength in his body poured into the Sad Demon axe, instantly exploding out. Originally, the strength of a single axe strike was already enough to kill a Void Inquiry stage expert in an instant. Now that he displayed the axe of strength, he used his essence chi to erupt his maximum strength in an instant. The strength of his axe strike was comparable to that of a 3rd level of the Golden Body Realm expert. Ning Fan activated his devil eyes and saw through all of Zhong's essence chi flow. It was an exquisite method of using essence chi. By gathering all of the essence chi in the weapon, it could instantly change the lethality of the weapon. He also raised his Separation Slayer sword horizontally. All of his essence chi flowed out from his golden orifices and gathered in the bones of his arm. The Separation Slayer sword, which was originally light, became heavy and heavy at this moment. The sword went against the Sad Devil axe. Boom! When the sword and the axe collided, Zhong took half a step back. He was slightly surprised. Naturally, he was surprised because Ning Fan's devil eyes were powerful enough to see through the flow of his essence chi and imitate his methods. Your devil eyes aren't bad, Zhong said indifferently. Even though Zhong had also learned a technique that was similar to the chi-stealing technique after becoming an immortal emperor, he definitely did not have this kind of technique when he was still a reckless devil. Ning Fan was shaken by the axe force and was forced to take tens of steps back. Many parts of his arm were fractured. The instantaneous explosive force of Zhong's axe was too terrifying. Even though Ning Fan imitated Zhong, he was still at a disadvantage. He naturally did not know that when Zhong was still at the early reckless devil realm, he had already frightened countless void-pierced stage-old monsters with this axe. The battle intent in Ning Fan's heart grew stronger. His eyes did not show any fear at all. He pointed at the sky and 99 black stars appeared. Starlight enveloped his body and his broken bones were instantly healed. He flapped his fire wings and approached Zhong again. Immortal Emperor Zhong's expression changed slightly for the first time. He was not only moved by Ning Fan's Black Star technique, but also his aura force. Ning Fan had obviously suffered a small loss, but he became braver and braver. He even dared to fight head-on with his strength. He was really bold. Strength. Ning Fan raised his Separation Slayer sword. It was as heavy as a mountain. This time, when he activated his essence chi, his control of strength was even more exquisite. His strength was also greater. Zhong raised his axe to split the sky. His black hair danced wildly in the wind as he faced the Separation Slayer sword. Boom! It was another collision of sword and axe. Zhong took a step back while Ning Fan took 20 steps back. Almost at the same time when he was pushed back, Ning Fan dashed towards him again and swung his Sad Devil axe. After being pushed back again and again, Ning Fan's control of strength became more and more exquisite. After the last collision, both he and Zhong took 3 steps back. Their strength was actually on par with each other. It was already difficult for Zhong to win against Ning Fan with his strength alone. Thus, he changed the flow of his essence chi and gathered it on his feet and one of his wrists. Second style of Sad Devil axe. Speed. His speed suddenly increased. Before his afterimage disappeared, his axe had already reached the top of Ning Fan's skull. Even using the word lightning to describe this axe strike was a little slow. No Void Inquiry stage cultivator could clearly see the trajectory of this axe strike. Even if Ning Fan used his demon eye, devil eye and human eye, he could only capture a trace of the axe shadow. However, it was enough for Ning Fan to defend against it. Speed. With the control of strength that he had previously gained, Ning Fan became even more skilled in using his essence chi. The Separation Slayer sword was already light in the first place. After using his essence chi to increase its speed, the sword light of his sword became slightly faster than Emo Zhong's axe shadow. Before Emo Zhong's axe could hit his skull, Ning Fan had already pointed his sword at his dantian and slightly pierced through his robes. Before Emo Zhong's axe hit his skull, Ning Fan was already able to crush his primordial spirit. Your attack is really fast. Emo Zhong was slightly surprised. Even though it was common sense for an axe to be slower than a sword, he was still a little surprised that Ning Fan's attack was faster than his. His attack was forcefully stopped by Emo Zhong. He hurriedly retreated to avoid Ning Fan's sword light. He knew that he could not match Ning Fan's speed. The flow of his essence chi changed. This time, all of it was poured into the blade of the axe. Third style of Sad Devil Axe Shadow. This time, Emo Zhong swung his axe across the sky. However, 48 million axe shadows appeared in the sky. Each of them was powerful enough to kill a Gold Core Realm cultivator. The combined destructive power of 48 million axe shadows could instantly kill a Void Inquiry stage cultivator. Ning Fan's eyes turned cold. Immortal Emperor Emo Zhong's 3 axe strikes were not fancy at all. They were just the extreme use of strength, speed and shadow which could be applied to any magic technique or devil martial arts. This was probably the realm where the Great Tao was the simplest. Ning Fan shook the sword light, and a wave of solemn and murderous sword intent rose around him. Traces of sword shadows floated on the body of the Separation Slayer sword. It was the myriad sword style that Ning Fan had not used for a long time. Yin Tianjue could produce 100 million sword shadows with a casual swing of his sword. That might not be his limit. In the past, Ning Fan could only produce 10 million sword shadows even if he used all his strength. However, he had also defeated Elder Xian Yi with a single sword attack. Facing Emo Zhong's 48 million axe shadows, just 10 million sword shadows were far from enough. Ning Fan recalled every single vein of the myriad sword style. When he saw Immortal Emperor Emo Zhong swinging his axe shadows, those veins became extremely clear. The Tao of the sword was not divided into righteous and evil paths. Be it magic power or essence chi, those who could control a sword could use sword techniques. Ning Fan's understanding of the myriad sword style suddenly took a different path. It was a Tao of the sword that was completely different from Yin Tianjue's. He poured all of his magic power into the sword. 10 million sword shadows appeared on the Separation Slayer sword. When he channeled all of his essence chi into the sword, another 40 million sword shadows appeared on the Separation Slayer sword. In terms of essence chi cultivation alone, Ning Fan might not be comparable to Immortal Emperor Emo Zhong, the ancestor of the Devil Tao who founded the Devil Conferral Summit. However, Ning Fan cultivated both Fiend God and Fiend God. His yin and yang complemented each other. The destructive power of his sword gave birth to 50 million sword shadows, which was even stronger than Emo Zhong's axe shadows. Myriad sword style shadow. Ning Fan thrust his sword at the sky. 50 million sword shadows clashed with 48 million axe shadows. In an instant, the outcome of the battle was already decided. All the axe shadows were shattered while Ning Fan still had 2 million sword shadows left. All of them slashed at Emo Zhong. 2 million sword shadows were certainly not enough to hurt Emo Zhong. However, it made his eyes turn solemn. The young Emo Zhong, who was proficient in 3 styles of axe techniques, also made 3 strikes at Ning Fan. The young Emo Zhong, who was proficient in 3 styles of axe techniques, also made 3 strikes at Ning Fan. His swift axe was directly weaker than Ning Fan's, but he did not show any signs of losing. However, his axe shadow was directly defeated by Ning Fan's myriad sword style. Even if it was just a small defeat, it also meant that the young Emo Zhong had suffered a loss in Ning Fan's hands. There were 1 billion worlds in the ancient immortal domain. In the world where Emo Zhong lived, he was an immortal emperor and the strongest expert. Among the immortal emperors of 1 billion worlds, he could still be ranked 7th. There were only a few people who could make him suffer a small loss. Those people were at least peak immortal emperors who were at the same level as him. Since Ning Fan was able to make Emo Zhong suffer a small loss, his innate potential had already surpassed countless ancient immortal emperors. You've won the battle of weapons. However, axe techniques aren't what I'm best at. Emo Zhong let go of the Sad Devil axe. The axe immediately turned into a flowing shadow and disappeared. It was originally an axe that was formed from a shadow. He raised his little finger and put it into his mouth. Mo Zhong bit off his little finger, but strangely, not a single drop of blood was left. In an instant his little finger grew back. The flesh and blood of the broken little finger disappeared, and turned into a finger bone. The finger bone shattered and turned into the shadows of countless soldiers. Ancient Devil Dao, turning broken bones into soldiers. Following Mo Zhong's command, the shattered finger bone turned into 6 million peak gold core realm devil shadow soldiers. In the past, Wuxia sovereign had also used the turning broken bones into soldiers. However, his technique was just an incomplete and lost ancient devil ability. How could it be as complete as immortal Emperor Mo Zhong's ability? Summoning 6 million gold core realm devil shadows with a single finger. This kind of ability was unimaginable. Moreover, this turning broken bones into soldiers was only used by the young Mo Zhong. If it was immortal Emperor Mo Zhong, he would probably be able to summon hundreds of millions of void fragmentation realm devil shadows to aid him in conquering the world. This is the real turning broken bones into soldiers. It's definitely not the incomplete technique that Wuxia sovereign used. Ning Fan activated his devil eye and tried his best to learn this ancient devil ability. As the founder of the Devil Conferral Summit, Mo Zhong's status was far above the 9 ancestors of the devil race. The ancient devil ability that he used was probably the purest and most complete secret technique in the world. Ning Fan also bit off his little finger and shouted, "Ancient Devil Dao, turning broken bones into soldiers." His little finger healed on its own in an instant. As for the broken finger bone, it turned into 6 million gold core realm devil soldiers that emitted intense devil chi. With a single technique, he summoned 6 million gold core realm devil soldiers. With these 6 million devil soldiers, Ning Fan could flatten a high-grade cultivation country effortlessly. Kill. The devil soldiers summoned by both parties engaged in a fierce battle. Once they died, they would immediately turn into ashes and disappear. In the battle of 6 million devil soldiers, Ning Fan and Mo Zhong ended up in a draw. Mo Zhong had already used this technique countless times. Even though he was only using his early reckless devil realm cultivation base, his proficiency in this technique could not be concealed. As for Ning Fan, other than witnessing the incomplete technique of turning broken bones into soldiers from Wuxia sovereign and Bone sovereign, this was only his 3rd time seeing this technique. Even so, Ning Fan and Mo Zhong ended up in a draw. If he continues to study this technique, the destructive power of his technique would certainly be much stronger than the young Mo Zhong. The young Mo Zhong was well aware that if he was born in the same era as Ning Fan would certainly become one of his strongest opponents on his path of Dao proving. Be it the Sad Devil 3 axes or the turning broken bones into soldiers, they were not his strongest abilities. The young Mo Zhong's eyes shone with dazzling golden light like the sun once again. His eyes were filled with monstrous battle intent. "What's your name?" Asking for Ning Fan's name was a form of respect. At this moment he was going to use his full strength. Ning Fan. Ning Fan also kept his Separation Slayer sword. His eyes were filled with seriousness. Up until now, he had yet to gain the upper hand in any of his attacks except for the myriad sword style. Is this the strength of a young great emperor? You cultivate both divine and devil cultivation. You can use both magic power and essence chi at the same time. If I'm not mistaken, this should be the yin-yang devil veins that ancient chaos created. Being able to cultivate the yin-yang devil veins to such a level, your aptitude is quite extraordinary. However, you don't seem to have obtained the other inheritance of ancient chaos, which is invincible attack. It's a pity. I'm afraid it will be a little strenuous for you to fight me next. The young Mo Zhong's eyes suddenly shone with golden rays. The entire world turned dark, leaving only his eyes that shone brightly like the pure sun. The memories formed by the cold dew cannot withstand the light of dawn. The 9 rays of dawn in my eyes are the 9 Li clans. 9 Li clans incarnation technique. All of a sudden, the young Mo Zhong's physical body shattered and disappeared, turning into 9 rays of golden light that dispersed. The 9 rays of golden light turned into the shadows of 9 giant beasts. There were heavenly dragons, bone birds, tigers, leopards, and giant pythons. All of them were of different species. The only similarity between them was that each of them had 9 heads. The bodies of each of them were radiating golden light that was as dazzling as the sun. Each of them had a cultivation base of the mid-reckless devil realm. Each of them was as strong as King Yinglong. Most importantly, this giant beast did not have a physical body. These are incarnations. 9 incarnations. Ningfan's eyes were filled with surprise. The young Emojong could actually divide his body into 9 and cultivate 9 great incarnations. Incarnation was a void fragmentation realm divine ability. However, the young Emojong had already comprehended this technique before attaining the void fragmentation realm. It was truly extraordinary. Moreover, the young Emojong's understanding of the incarnation technique had not only reached the level of incarnation self-recovery, but also the higher level of incarnation transformation. The young Emojong was proficient in a total of 81 incarnation transformations. The strength of the incarnations of the ferocious beasts was even higher than the cultivation base of the true body. Ningfan activated his devil eye. Suddenly, he seemed to have understood something. Chapter 482. Ningfan seemed to have comprehended something. The word incarnation actually contained the essence of many changes. Some old monsters who were proficient in incarnation techniques could use the transformation technique to turn into a fly or a plant to hide themselves. There were also some old monsters who could transform into ferocious beasts and obtain strength that far exceeded their original bodies. Incarnation was actually a technique to transform one's physical body. Ningfan turning his physical body into nothingness was also a kind of transformation. However, if he only knew this kind of transformation, he would not be able to defeat the young Emojong's incarnation. He took a light breath and took a step forward, turning into his black robes. His black hair grew longer and danced in the wind. On the left side of his face, a demonic mark appeared. His expression was cold and emotionless. His eyes flashed with a trace of sword light. He could not learn any of the 9 incarnations of the young Emojong. However, Ningfan had already comprehended something. His incarnation itself actually possessed a kind of transformation. Incarnation that combines spirit, sense, and soul, huh? Moreover, it has reached the level where incarnations can heal themselves. However, if I'm not proficient in transformation techniques, my abilities will be slightly inferior. Annihilation. The 9 giant beasts let out an indifferent voice at the same time. At the next moment, they launched their strongest attacks. They either spat out flames or stirred up hurricanes. Each of their abilities was comparable to the desperate attack of a void inquiry stage cultivator. Ningfan did not dodge them. He just closed his eyes. He had forgotten everything in his mind, including the sound of the wind. It was as if he was no longer himself and had become a sword. Today, I've comprehended the transformation technique of incarnation. This will be the first transformation of my incarnation. Sword body. Chi. Just as the 9 attacks were about to hit the golden body, black mist swirled around Ningfan's physical body, and he turned into an ancient black sword that hung high in the sky. The ancient sword shattered once again, turning into 9 black swords that flew towards the 9 ferocious beasts. As Ningfan's ancient devil cultivation base improved, his spirit sense also improved along with it. It was on the verge of breaking through to the void inquiry stage. Even though the destructive power of the 9 black swords was slightly weaker than the 9 ferocious beasts, their aura force was much stronger. Because he had completely turned his body into a sword, he had given up on defense and transformation. All that was left was the ultimate attack. The 9 swords carried an aura force that seemed to want to perish together with the enemy. Boom! As their attacks collided, the 9 beasts were pierced by the sword aura, leaving countless wounds on them. One of the beasts was even directly killed. As for the 9 black swords that Ningfan had transformed into, none of them were broken. However, 3 of them were filled with cracks. It was hard to say who would win and who would lose in this clash. The 9 swords and 8 beasts clashed once more. The shock waves from the collision shook the blood sea below and caused the waves to surge into the sky. The vicious beasts fell one after another, and the black swords shattered one after another. Of the 9 vicious beasts, only one giant python remained. Of the 9 black swords, only one remained intact. The giant python that Emojong had transformed into coiled around the sword, spitting out balls of venom in an attempt to corrode the black sword. Black sword did not dodge or evade. He allowed the venom to corrode him, and did not try to defend himself. All the essence chi gathered on the tip of the sword. With a sudden slash, the giant python was cut in half. Puff! Emojong withdrew his clones. His 9 clones had all been destroyed, and he had suffered heavy injuries. Ningfan only had the incarnation of a broken sword left. He also withdrew from the transformation due to exhaustion. His chi seemed rather weak. Logically speaking, Emojong's clones should be stronger than Ningfan's. However, the clone that Ningfan had transformed into was a sword that only attacked and did not defend. Under his desperate struggle, he managed to suppress Emojong's aura force and killed all 9 of Emojong's clones. Emojong's black eyes turned solemn. When he was at the early reckless devil realm, he certainly did not have such a powerful aura force like Ningfan's. Before attaining the void fragmentation realm, his path had been smooth without many obstacles. He did not have many opportunities to kill people. Thus, his aura force was not as strong as Ningfan's. Ningfan had been through a sea of blood for a long time. He had the ruthlessness to risk his life. Transforming into a giant sword that only attacked and did not defend was also in line with his style. Especially at the last moment, he was willing to suffer severe injuries just to kill the giant python. If his sword light is a little slower, he would be completely dissolved by the venom. This young man's ruthlessness is incomparable to mine in the past. However, the outcome of this battle has yet to be decided. Emojong took a deep breath and lifted his finger. Traces of golden devil flames coiled around his finger, making it look like a golden thumb ring. He pointed his finger at Ningfan. That thumb ring shot out and turned into a massive ring of flames, making it look like a giant's ring of fire. Layers of fire rings surrounded Ningfan in the center. There were a total of 108 layers of fire rings. Each layer of fire rings was powerful enough to incinerate a void glimpse stage cultivator. 10 layers of fire rings could kill a void inquiry stage cultivator. 100 layers of fire rings could kill a void pierce stage cultivator. Emojong changed his hand seal, and his essence chi flowed into the flames. The power of the golden flames increased tremendously, and all the fire rings began to converge towards the center. Void technique, flame ring technique. Ningfan took a deep breath. This flame ring technique was a high-grade mortal void devil martial technique. Moreover, it was already somewhat extraordinary among the other high-grade mortal void techniques. With this flame ring technique, Emojong could kill ordinary void pierce stage cultivators. If it is any other cultivator at the second level of the golden body realm, they would certainly not be able to withstand 108 layers of flame rings. However, Ningfan was different. A vortex of flames rose from his palm. A massive suction force spread out from the vortex. His right eye was crazily imitating Emojong's devil martial technique. Standing in the middle of the layers of golden flame rings, Ningfan remained unscathed. As for the golden flames, they immediately began to tremble when Ningfan glanced at them. The flames were trembling because in the eyes of the flames, the current Ningfan was the emperor of flames. Ningfan took a step forward, and the layers of sea of flames suddenly split into 2 from the middle. The flame ring technique was broken on its own. Ningfan activated the fire plucking technique to its limit, and absorbed all of Emojong's golden flames into the yin-yang locket with the power of the steel of sun and moon. This is the ancient chaos fire plucking technique. I didn't expect you to have the yin-yang locket. Emojong recognized this technique and frowned deeply. At the next moment, Ningfan activated the black devil flames. The 9 black dragons merged with the golden flames, and he pointed a finger at Emojong. His action was exactly the same as Emojong's. Void technique, flame ring technique. Ningfan returned the 108 layers of sea of flames to Emojong. As for the other 108 layers of black flame rings, Ningfan cast them on himself. Being surrounded by 216 layers of flame rings, Emojong's eyes flashed with surprise. He bit the tip of his tongue hard, and waved his palm to disperse several layers of the sea of flames. Then he displayed some kind of defensive secret technique, in an attempt to forcefully escape from the Sea of Flames. Ning Fan had already expected that Emojong would not face the flame ring technique head-on. Instead, he would choose to retreat. He turned his palm and the layers of Sea of Flames suddenly turned into a gigantic flaming palm, slamming on Emojong's back. Void technique, 3 flaming palms. The flaming palm came too suddenly and greatly exceeded Emojong's expectation. As he was caught off guard, the flaming palm landed on his back, causing his injuries to worsen. He finally managed to escape from the Sea of Flames. Looking at Ning Fan, who was standing on top of the Sea of Flames, he felt a lingering fear. Even though he could tell that Ning Fan cultivated the yin-yang transformation, he did not expect that Ning Fan possessed the yin-yang locket. The yin-yang locket of ancient chaos was a rare emperor-grade treasure. The steel of sun and moon was sealed within it, and it could even restrain the scorching yang items in the world. In the past, ancient chaos had killed countless immortal emperors and experts with the steel of sun and moon. If Emojong knew about the existence of the yin-yang locket, he certainly would not display the flame ring technique. However, he could not deny that even without the yin-yang locket, Ning Fan could still easily block his attack with the flame ring technique that he had secretly learned. Ning Fan's fire control technique was extremely exquisite. It was tempered through countless times of pill refinement. Thus, it was far beyond the young Emojong's. Playing with fire with Ning Fan was an action that was asking for trouble. The young Emojong circulated his essence qi to suppress his injuries. His body gradually emitted a trace of sovereign qi aura. A trace of sovereign qi began to appear on his fist. Each of his punches could shatter mountains and rivers. He took a step forward and drew out the invincible sovereign qi in his fist, displaying the execution devil palm. Ning Fan had already learned this palm technique in the second stage. However, he did not know that this technique could also be infused with sovereign qi. He also drew out a trace of sovereign qi from his body and displayed the execution devil palm. The two of them continuously displayed 108 layers of sovereign qi palm imprints and clashed against each other. The young Emojong's physical body was not any weaker than Ning Fan's. However, after exchanging hundreds of blows, he still could not gain the upper hand. The young Emojong casually released traces of essence qi, which turned into devil mountains and pressed down on Ning Fan's head. Ning Fan's attacks were bold and unrestrained. He casually shattered countless devil mountains. As he took a step forward, 2 golden shadows of himself appeared behind his back and attacked Emojong's back. The 2 golden shadows were just at the first level of the golden body realm. Thus, they could not attract Emojong's attention. Thus, they were killed by Emojong using his techniques. However, they successfully distracted Emojong. At the same time, Ning Fan released his killing qi and devil might, which distracted Emojong for a moment. Taking advantage of this moment, Ning Fan suddenly grabbed Emojong's wrist. He released his essence qi and forcefully shattered Emojong's wrist and arm bones, crippling one of his arms first. Without giving Emojong any chance to heal his injuries, Ning Fan stretched out his 5 fingers and displayed the moon-tearing dragon technique. He tore down 5 rays of moonlight that were as heavy as Mount Tai from the sky, and left 5 deep bloody wounds on Emojong's chest. Puff! The young Emojong lost an arm and his chest and abdomen were struck. His injuries were severe and his essence qi was scattered. He stared at Ning Fan in shock. Seeing that Ning Fan did not give him any chance to catch his breath and directly dashed towards him, Emojong gritted his teeth. The power of his intent realm spread out like waves. Seal of dawn light. It was a golden intent realm. It was as dazzling as the sun. Rays of light were spread out by Emojong like waves, forming an ocean of light that engulfed Ning Fan within. Intent realm technique, huh? Ning Fan was slightly surprised, but he was not surprised. It was a wise move for Emojong to display an intent realm technique to slow Ning Fan down and recover his essence qi when his essence qi was scattered. If Ning Fan was not mistaken, Emojong's intent realm should be the dawn light intent realm, which was the ray of light at dawn. Immersed in the ocean of light, Ning Fan felt that he could not mobilize any of his magic power and essence qi at all. They were slowly being sealed by the ocean of light. The only thing he could mobilize was the power of his memory intent realm. Emozhong's Dawn Light Intent realm was quite powerful. It was at least a first-grade devil intent. However, Ningfan's intent realm was even more powerful. It was a second-step intent realm. Light could turn into darkness, but memories could never be erased. A trace of black cold chi flashed across Ningfan's eyes. Black snowflakes suddenly fell from the ocean of light in all directions. A trace of samsara power flashed across his eyes. A trace of memory and persistence flashed across his mind. It was the determination to freeze everything in ice. If samsara takes away Ningfan's last trace of warmth, then why would Ningfan hesitate to freeze samsara? Wind Snowfinger, frozen samsara. ZZZ pieces of the golden ocean of light were frozen one after another. All of a sudden, the entire ocean was frozen into a gigantic piece of black ice. As Ningfan pointed his finger at the ocean of light that was frozen into ice, it suddenly shattered into countless pieces. When his intent realm technique was broken, Emozhong felt a sharp pain in his sea of consciousness. He took a few steps back and coughed out blood incessantly. He half knelt on the ground and looked at Ningfan with a defeated expression. He lost. Junior, you've passed the third test. Chapter 483. The young Emozhong was defeated by Ningfan. Ningfan defeated a young great emperor, and passed the third stage of the devil conferral test with such a shocking result. If Ningfan defeated the young Emozhong in ancient times, his name would certainly spread across the ancient immortal domain, and he would become an existence respected by countless geniuses. Since ancient times, there were only a few who could defeat the young Emozhong at the same cultivation level. Ningfan had done something that countless immortal emperors could not. The young Emozhong's body suddenly turned into a black carp and jumped back into the blood sea. Ningfan really wanted to know what kind of reward he would get after passing the third stage. The sky above the blood sea was torn into two. From the crack in the sky, endless devil chi poured down and condensed into 3 black blood suns. Each of the black blood suns contained a strong devil blood chi. Devil chants from the devil scripture resounded in the void space. The 3 blood suns slowly turned into 3 drops of ancestral blood and fell from the sky like meteors, entering Ningfan's body. Ningfan's eyes widened. He did not expect that the reward for passing the third stage would be 3 drops of ancestral blood. Each drop of ancestral blood could improve the grade of his devil blood. Besides, each drop of ancestral blood contained 1 million units of essence chi. At the moment the ancestral blood entered his body, the essence chi in his body became restless. If he completely refines these 3 drops of ancestral blood, his essence chi would reach 8 million units. At this moment, the grade of his devil blood was advancing towards the ancestral grade. Since you won the battle against me, I will grant you a drop of ancestral blood. Since you are the descendant of ancient chaos, I will grant you another drop of ancestral blood. If I'm not wrong, the samsara power in your last move should be imparted to you by the immortal sovereign. Since you have gained the favor of the immortal sovereign, I will grant you the 3rd drop of ancestral blood. There will be a total of 3 drops. If you refine these ancestral blood, your devil blood will be ranked first in the ancient devil abyss except for the 9 great devil ancestors. Immortal Emperor Emozhong's voice came from the blood sea. At the next moment, 10 rays of light shot out from the blood sea again. Each of them was a devil pill with surging devil chi. Ningfan took the devil pills and looked at them carefully. Each of them was actually a low-grade 7th revolution pill. These 10 revered devil pills are pills for revered devils to stabilize their cultivation level. After you consume them, it will be more than enough to stabilize your reckless devil realm for a short period of time. Chi. Just as Immortal Emperor Emozhong finished speaking, another black radiance shot out from the blood sea. According to the immortal law of the Zido celestial domain, you can only be conferred the title of inferior grade strongman after breaking through to the reckless devil realm. You'll be ranked 9th among the 9 grades of immortal positions, and you'll enjoy the 9th grade of inferior grade immortal rewards. However, your results in the 3 stages of the devil conferral test are outstanding. You can make an exception and be conferred the title of a low-grade celestial guard. You'll be ranked 8th among the 9 grades of celestial positions and enjoy the incense offerings of an 8th grade celestial guard. I'll bestow upon you 3 protective talismans, 10,000 Tao crystals, 3 immortal void treasures, and a bottle of peak 6th revolution pills. The reward of 3 drops of ancestral blood was personal. The reward bestowed by the devil sealer was male. Rays of light shot out from the sea of blood one after another, and were kept into his storage pouch. He didn't know the significance of being conferred the title of lower grade 8th rank immortal guardian, but he could guess that whether it was a 9th grade strongman or an 8th grade immortal guardian, it was the same as the old devil's deacon of the 4 seas, an official position of an immortal. Ning Fan stroked the token of an 8th rank immortal guard and kept it into his storage pouch. He did not pay too much attention to it. As for the other rewards, he paid more attention to them. Tao crystals were the currency of the 4 heavens. A Tao crystal was equivalent to 5 million immortal jade. 10,000 Tao crystals were equivalent to 50 billion immortal jade. It was a huge fortune. The 3 immortal void treasures were all magic treasures that were hard to come by. However, Ning Fan had never paid much attention to magic treasures. Besides, the 3 magic treasures were all at the immortal void grade. Only void fragmentation realm experts could use them. Thus, he could not use them for the time being. Each of the 3 protective talismans contained a void fragmentation realm attack. If he obtains the title of a 9th grade strongman, he would at most be rewarded with 3 void refinement realm attacks. However, Ning Fan was conferred the title of an 8th grade immortal guardian, and was bestowed with 3 void fragmentation realm attacks. They were extremely useful items. With the attack of the Steel of Sun and Moon, and the 3 protective talismans, Ning Fan could deliver 4 void fragmentation realm attacks in one go. Even if he faces 4 void pierce stage experts at the same time, he would not be afraid. He was quite satisfied with this series of rewards. Go. Refine the ancestral blood and break through to the reckless devil realm in one go. Immortal Emperor Mo Zhong's voice gradually faded. Ning Fan felt the world spinning. The scenery in front of him changed, and his consciousness returned to his body. As for the rewards he obtained from the Devil Conferral Summit, all of them had appeared in his storage pouch. Including the test he obtained from the Devil Conferral Summit, Ning Fan had been in seclusion on the 7th floor of the Dark Golden Pagoda for 20 years. It was equivalent to 2 months in the outside world. The 3 additional drops of ancestral blood, and the drop of Mo Luo's blood were being refined into his body bit by bit, as the ancestral talismans activated on their own. Ning Fan did not say much. He continued to sit cross-legged with his eyes closed, refining the 4 drops of ancestral blood, which was equivalent to 4 million units of essence chi. The royal grade bloodline of the King Devil realm was slowly approaching the level of ancestral blood. His 5 million units of essence chi was slowly increasing towards 9 million units. After completing the Devil Conferral test, his ancient Devil Cultivation realm, which was originally stuck at the Peak Jade Blood realm, broke through to the early Reckless Devil realm in one go and advanced towards the mid-Reckless Devil realm. Ning Fan consumed 10 revered devil pills. As the medicinal power spread throughout his body, his cultivation realm began to improve and stabilize. 1 day passed. 2 days passed. Another 10 long years passed in the Dark Golden Pagoda. 3 months had passed in the outside world. The 4 drops of ancestral blood had been completely refined by the ancestral talismans. 9 million units of essence chi had accumulated in the 300 golden orifices in Ning Fan's body. At this moment, Ning Fan suddenly rose to his feet. His essence chi shook heaven and earth, emitting a vast aura force which was much stronger than ordinary mid-void refinement realm experts. The mid-reckless devil realm was comparable to a void inquiry stage expert. A mid-reckless devil realm expert was comparable to a void inquiry stage expert. In fact, it was much stronger than an ordinary void inquiry stage expert. With his mid-reckless devil realm cultivation realm, Ning Fan could go anywhere below the void fragmentation realm in the rain world. With 9 million units of essence chi in his body, Ning Fan was already at the mid-reckless devil realm. Moreover, he was only 1 million units away from the late reckless devil realm. Essence chi and magic power were fundamentally different. However, outsiders would not be able to tell the difference just by looking at their chi. Unless it was an ancient devil who also cultivated essence chi, no one would know that Ning Fan was at the mid-reckless devil realm. They would only think that he was at the mid-void refinement realm. As for his devil bloodline, it had also broken through to the ancestral grade. With 4 drops of ancestral blood in his body, no one below the 9 great devil ancestors had a better innate talent in devil cultivation than him. It's time to settle the score with those devil spirits. Ningfan's eyes flashed with indifference. The 14 void refinement realm devil spirits in the mist-horn broken world were no longer worthy of his attention. He could kill 7 void glimpse stage devil spirits instantly. It would not take him too much effort to kill 7 void inquiry stage devil spirits. He flew down the 7th floor of the pagoda and arrived at the 4th floor. On the 4th floor, Suyen had already healed all of her injuries. 3 months in the outside world was equivalent to 4 years in the 4th floor. During these 4 years, Suyen had always been worried about Ningfan. On that day, Ningfan's devil blood acted up and his strength was greatly reduced. His appearance was too frightening. Suyen was very worried that he would die in the pagoda just like that. When her clansmen betrayed her, Ningfan saved her. That kind of feeling was indescribable. Suyen only knew that she did not want to see Ningfan die. When Ningfan appeared on the 4th floor unscathed, Suyen's heart was filled with joy. She quietly heaved a sigh of relief, but her expression was still indifferent. Are your injuries healed? How can your chi be so strong? This is the void inquiry stage. You have broken through to the void inquiry stage. How is this possible? Suyen wore a shocked expression. She had never been so shocked in her entire life. She would not be mistaken. Ningfan's chi was definitely at the void inquiry stage. When she heard that Xiemo had broken through to the void inquiry stage, she was also surprised, but she was not as shocked as she was now. It was because Xiemo was a peak void glimpse stage cultivator, who could break through to the void inquiry stage at any time. Ningfan, on the other hand, was different. His strength was indeed very strong and he was infamous. However, all the cultivators in the internal sea knew that he was just a half-step void refinement realm cultivator. It was Suyan's first time encountering a half-step void refinement realm cultivator, who broke through to the void inquiry stage in a single step. Devil concubine Su, how about I bring you away? Ningfan did not explain. The matter regarding reckless devil was too important. It was not a wise move to tell Suyen about it. All right. Suyen nodded her head and did not reject Ningfan's offer. She knew many of Ningfan's secrets. Perhaps only by following him and becoming his devil concubine could she make him feel at ease. From today onwards, I am yours. The Misthorn clan has nothing to do with me anymore. Suyan's tone was resolute. Ningfan gave Suyen a deep look. Before he came to the Misthorn clan, he had never thought that he would be able to abduct the leader of the clan. Today, the Misthorn clan destroyed their own city wall and plotted to kill Suyen. Ningfan had gotten a devil concubine for free. Let's go. Just 14 void refinement realm devil spirits. How dare they chase after me? It's time to teach them a bloody lesson. Ningfan hugged Suyen and activated his Yuan Yao Jade. The two of them instantly left the Yuan Yao world and returned to the Misthorn Broken World. In the Broken World, a group of foolish devil spirits were guarding the Devil Mist Pond. They had been guarding the pond for 3 months. 3 months had passed, but Ningfan and Suyen still had not left the Yuan Yao world. The leader of the 14 Void Refinement Realm Devil Spirits, Qian Gui, showed an extremely impatient expression. If it wasn't because he wanted to kill Suyen, he would not have the patience to wait for them at the Devil Mist Pond. Lord Qian Gui, if that brat and Suyen don't come out for the rest of their lives, are we going to wait here forever? One of the devil spirit's subordinates asked. Wait. Let's continue waiting. Qian Gui gritted his teeth and raised his head inadvertently. His eyes were filled with fear as he looked at the layers of tribulation clouds in the sky. After Ningfan entered the Yuan Yao world, the strange phenomenon of the blue sky being dyed with devil blood gradually turned into the tribulation clouds of the heavenly tribulation. Qian Gui could guess that Ningfan must have broken through to a certain cultivation level while cultivating in the Yuan Yao world. That was why he triggered the heavenly tribulation. That brat is already at the half-step void refinement realm. Could he have broken through to the void refinement realm in the small Kiliacosm? However, So what if he has broken through to the void refinement realm? He has just broken through to the void refinement realm. He is just a void glimpse stage cultivator, with an unstable cultivation base. There's nothing to be afraid of at all. As long as he dares to come out, he will certainly die. Qian Gui muttered to himself. He wished that he could immediately tear Ningfan into pieces. He did not want to continue waiting day and night like this. Just as his voice fell, the layers of tribulation clouds suddenly shattered. Then, an earth-shattering devil might spread out from the depths of the devil mist pond. What happened? Why would such a powerful devil might appear in the devil mist pond? Qian Gui's eyes widened in shock. This devil might was too terrifying. Even a void inquiry stage devil spirit like him felt a little suffocated under this devil might. His devil blood almost went out of control. He could not imagine why such a terrifying devil might would appear in the mist horn-broken world. Even with his void inquiry stage cultivation base, he was still unable to withstand this devil might. The other void glimpse stage devil spirits' faces turned red under the devil might, and their chi became chaotic. As for some divine transformation realm devil spirits, they directly prostrated themselves on the ground under the pressure of the devil might. They did not even have the right to stand up. As for those gold core realm and nascent soul realm devil spirits, they were directly knocked unconscious by the devil might. Many of them even bled from their 7 apertures and died. What kind of ferocious devil might was this? A trace of devil might could knock out tens of millions of gold core realm devil spirits. Qian Gui and the other 13 void refinement realm devil spirits stared at the devil mist pond in disbelief. The pond that occupied an area of 10,000 hectares automatically parted, revealing a gap. A white-robed young man flew out of the devil mist pond while holding a devil-horned beautiful woman in his arms. The young man walked in the sky. Every step he took in the hollow space could shatter the hollow space again and again. That hair-raising devilish pressure was precisely emitted by the young man. As soon as Qian Gui and the other 13 void refinement realm experts saw the young man's appearance, they became even more incredulous. That young man with terrifying devil might was none other than Ningfan. He has broken through to the void inquiry stage. Impossible. This is impossible. Countless devil spirits let out exclamations of disbelief. There were even 3 void glimpse stage devil spirits who dashed towards Ningfan directly and launched a sure-kill attack to test his strength. Don't be rash. Qian Gui shouted to stop him. However, it was already too late. The 3 void glimpse stage experts had already rushed to Ningfan's side. Ningfan indifferently glanced at the 3 void refinement realm experts. His eyes flashed with cold light. I'm here. You can all die now. Boom. With just a palm strike, the 108 layers of palm imprints of the execution devil palm covered the entire sky. The palm imprints landed on the bodies of the 3 void glimpse stage experts. Before the 3 of them could react, their devil armors were already shattered and their physical bodies were directly destroyed. Under that palm imprint, the 3 void glimpse stage experts died without being able to resist at all. That palm strike could instantly kill any devil spirits in this place, including void inquiry stage experts. Hiss. When the smoke and dust dispersed, Ningfan caught the primordial spirits of the 3 void glimpse stage experts in his hand and swallowed them into his stomach. Then he chewed and refined them one by one. All the devil spirits were horrified. Sounds of inhaling could be heard everywhere. Those were 3 void refinement realm old monsters. Ningfan had actually killed 3 of them with a single palm strike of that level. Everyone realized that waiting outside the devil mist pond to kill Ningfan was the worst decision they had ever made in their entire lives. What they had waited for was not a lamb waiting to be slaughtered, but a fiendish devil lord. Qian Gui's heart was beating uncontrollably. His eyes that were looking at Ningfan were filled with fear. Why? Why can Emir Suyin hire such a powerful helper? I don't believe it. This isn't real. At the same time, the strange phenomenon of the devil world's devil blood dyeing the blue sky gradually faded away. The strange phenomenon that lasted for 3 months had shocked countless devils. A king devil with royal bloodline was born. All the devil sovereigns of the devil world wanted to find this person and recruit him even if they had to use all their strength. No one knew that Ning Fan had not only broken through to the royal bloodline, but also attained the ancestral devil-grade bloodline. They were destined not to know because the ancestral devil-grade bloodline was so powerful that it was immeasurable. Even the statues of the 9 great devil ancestors could not measure it. If they knew that Ning Fan's devil blood was not the royal bloodline but the ancestral bloodline, they would certainly go crazy. The 8 sovereigns of the devil world began to sweep across the entire devil world in search of the person who had attained the royal bloodline. Of course, it was impossible for them to find him. Ning Fan broke through his bloodline in the rain world while they were searching for him in the devil world. It would be strange if they could find him. Only Moksha Sovereign did not go looking for Ning Fan. In his heart, he still could not get rid of the white-robed young man's back. He was familiar. He was too familiar. He was just like that stubborn young man in 7 Apricot City. However, it was absolutely impossible. The young man back then was just at the harmonious spirit realm. Only a few decades had passed. Even if the young man received enlightenment from Old Devil, it was impossible for him to attain the royal bloodline in just a few decades. Your Majesty, are you looking for me? In the Nirvana Palace of the Devil World, Moksha Sovereign sat on his throne. Unknowingly, a muscular man who was as skinny as a zombie had walked into his throne. The muscular man's bone age was less than 3,700 years old, but his cultivation base was already at the void inquiry stage. He was one of the 10 great devil generals under Moksha Sovereign. I asked you to come here because I want you to kill someone in the rain world. Kill someone in the rain world? The muscular man asked in surprise. You don't want to go? Moksha Sovereign frowned in displeasure. The muscular man immediately knelt on the ground and explained with fear and trepidation. Your Majesty, I will not dare to disobey your orders. However, if I want to enter the Rain World, I must get the permission of the Rain Palace. Even if the Rain Palace agrees to let me enter the Rain World, they won't allow me to kill anyone in the Rain World. Once I kill anyone in the Rain World, the Rain Palace will certainly hold your Majesty responsible according to the agreement of the 9 worlds. Don't worry. I will give you a sovereign execution token. With this token, you can kill anyone in the Rain World. As long as you don't kill a second person, and it doesn't violate the agreement, the Rain Palace won't blame you. Sovereign execution token. The muscular man's eyes widened. The sovereign execution token was a precious item. With this token, one could kill anyone in the lower worlds without any crime. Normally, the sovereign execution token was used to kill the traitors of the world. If anyone of the devil world escapes to the rain world or the other worlds, the devil sovereign of the devil world would send someone with the token to kill the traitor. The number of this token was limited. Normally, it would only be used to kill great traitors who were at the void refinement realm and above. Since Moksha Sovereign used the sovereign execution token, the muscular man could guess that the person Moksha Sovereign wanted to kill was at least a void refinement realm old monster. Moreover, Moksha Sovereign attached great importance to this matter and personally asked about it. The person he wanted to kill would definitely not be simple. May I know who your Majesty wants me to kill? Kill him. There is a trace of his chi here. It was left behind by him when he injured me in the past. When you enter the rain world, directly seal this chi into the sovereign execution token. The person that the sovereign execution token wants to kill can be found even if he goes to the ends of the earth. When you find this person, kill him. Moksha Sovereign casually flicked a black token to the muscular man, and a trace of harmonious spirit chi. When the muscular man saw that the chi of the person he wanted to kill was only at the harmonious spirit realm, he was immediately puzzled. Your Majesty, the person you want me to kill is a harmonious spirit realm cultivator? He couldn't imagine that a harmonious spirit realm cultivator could injure Moksha Sovereign. A harmonious spirit realm cultivator could make Moksha Sovereign worry so much that he, one of the 10 great devil generals, would personally go and kill him? Do you have any questions? Moksha Sovereign frowned. How would I dare? Your Majesty, rest assured. He's just a harmonious spirit realm cultivator. There won't be any mistakes if I kill him. And you're dismissed. Moksha Sovereign dismissed the muscular man and closed his eyes as if he was sleeping. In the main hall, he was the only one left. After a long time he muttered to himself. That King Devil Sovereign definitely isn't him. He is just an ant. He is the same as Han Yuanji. Both of them are trash and not worth mentioning. However, why do I feel so uneasy? Chapter 484. In order to make others look down on him, he had to constantly pretend to be a pig to eat a tiger. A grand massacre was all that was needed to make people tremble in fear. 10 million Gold Core Realm and Nascent Soul Realm Devil Spirits were knocked unconscious by Ning Fan's Devil Might. Only the 800 Divine Transformation Realm Experts and 11 Void Refinement Realm Experts could remain conscious under Ning Fan's aura force. The 800 Divine Transformation Realm Devil Spirits were so frightened by Ning Fan's display of killing 3 Void Refinement Realm Devil Spirits in an instant that they could no longer maintain their composure. One by one, the Divine Transformation Realm Old Monsters crawled up from the ground with difficulty, but they could not stop their bodies from trembling. Lord Qiangui, we are no match for this demon. What should we do? Why don't we retreat? Countless Divine Transformation Realm Devil Spirits suggested to Qiangui and the other Void Refinement Realm Experts. All of the 10 Void Refinement Realm Experts fell into silence. Qiangui was the only one who gave Ning Fan a deep look. The fear in his eyes gradually disappeared. There's no need to retreat. I have the confidence to kill this kid. Qiangui's solemn vow of assurance was absolutely shocking. Just a moment ago, Qiangui was still afraid that Ning Fan was going to die. Now, however, he said that he had the confidence to kill Ning Fan. It was really hard to believe. None of the 800 Divine Transformation Realm cultivators thought that Qiangui was Ning Fan's match. However, after the other 10 Void Refinement Realm experts scanned Ning Fan with their spirit sense, all of them were like Qiangui. I see. The palm strike that this young man threw out just now instantly killed 3 Void Glimpse stage experts and consumed more than half of his magic power. With that kind of magic art, he can at most launch a second palm strike. It's impossible for him to launch a third palm strike. The magic power that these old monsters mentioned was naturally referring to Ning Fan's essence chi. The execution devil palm was indeed powerful. However, it also consumed a lot of essence chi. In the past, a single palm strike would deplete all of his essence chi. Now that his essence chi had almost doubled, reaching 9 million units, he could only launch 2 palm strikes at most. At this moment, almost everyone was certain that Ning Fan would exhaust all of his magic power after sending out another palm strike, and he would be at the mercy of his enemies. If that's the case, as long as I force Ning Fan to use the second palm strike and exhaust his magic power, no matter how strong Ning Fan was, as long as his magical power was depleted, he would be at the mercy of others. 800 Semi-God Realm Cultivators, listen to my command. Form the Tuzhuan formation. Kill this demon with all your might. At Qiangui's order, the 800 Semi-God Realm warriors turned into beams of light and formed a great formation. This formation had gathered all the magic power of the 800 Divine Transformation Realm cultivators. The grade of the Grand Formation was actually at the high grade of the Mortal Void Realm. It could even harm a Void Pierce stage expert. Qiangui sure had a good idea. He used the 800 Divine Transformation Realm cultivators to offset the force of Ning Fan's palm strike. After that, he used up all of Ning Fan's magic power. Fellow Taoist Zhou, no master. They want to use the Great Array to consume your magic power. Don't fall for their trick. Leave this Great Array to Su Yan. It's more important for Master to quickly recover his magic power. Su Yan gently walked away from Ning Fan's embrace. Her eyes were filled with determination. Since she was already Ning Fan's devil concubine, she naturally needed to help him block the rain of spears and arrows. She was willing to take the risk to deal with the Tide Revolution Grand Formation alone, just so that Ning Fan could conserve his magic power and recover it. Save your strength for the Mist Horn Clan's traitors. I can handle this battle. Ning Fan pinched Su Yan's chin and took a step towards the Grand Formation. His eyes were as calm as still water. After activating the power of the Heart Formation, he could tell that the Tide Revolution Grand Formation used the 800 Divine Transformation Realm cultivators as the actual formation eyes. Other than that, There were another 6,400 illusory formation eyes. The traces of formation marks were like a complicated star map. The 800 divine transformation realm cultivators were constantly changing their positions in the formation. They activated their magic power and moved like the stars on the star map. Traces of the power of the Big Dipper technique turned into countless meteors that fell towards Ningfan. Each of them was 1,000 zhang in size, and each of them had the destructive power of a divine transformation realm cultivator. If you use the palm strike you used just now to break the grand formation, you will certainly exhaust all of your magic power. If you don't want to waste your magic power, even if you manage to break the grand formation, you will certainly be severely injured and your combat power will be greatly reduced. So what if your devil might is strong? You will still be killed by me in the end. Qian Gui's cold laughter resounded through the clouds. He intended to provoke Ningfan and distract him so that he would be injured by the formation. Ningfan did not even look at Qian Gui. Facing the countless falling meteors, he just raised his palm and activated his essence qi. Immediately, heaven and earth trembled. 108 seals, execution devil palm. When he threw out a palm strike, layers of palm imprints spread towards the sky. Devil Qi blotted out the sky, making it seem like there were 108 layers of devil heavens. The destructive power of this palm strike was on par with immortal Emperor Mo Zhong when he was young. The destructive power of this palm strike had the terrifying devil Qi that could kill 108 void glimpse stage giants. He was not a void inquiry stage cultivator, but a mid-reckless devil realm cultivator. Boom! The stars that were formed by the 800 divine transformation realm cultivators were shattered by Ningfan's palm strike. The blood of countless divine transformation realm cultivators dyed the vast sky red. The vault of heaven was shattered, and the meteors were crushed. Fresh blood rained down on the 100,000 mountains like rain. It was as if the end of the world had arrived. Qian Gui and the other void refinement realm devil spirits were shocked. They had once again witnessed the terrifying destructive power of the execution devil palm. Then, all of their faces were filled with joy. One after another, they dashed towards Ningfan fearlessly. They did not have the slightest bit of sympathy for the 800 divine transformation realm cultivators who had fallen. They only cared about one thing. Ningfan had used up all of his magic power after delivering the second palm strike. Thus, he was no longer a threat to them. Arrogant brat. How dare you stop us from killing Su Yan? Today, I will let you know the consequences of being a busybody. Kill. Qian Gui took the lead. He laughed out loud as he sped through the air. With every step he took, his body would grow 3,000 meters. After 6 steps, he had become a 6,000-meter tall giant. His body was huge while Ningfan's body was tiny. He looked at Ningfan disdainfully. He lifted his foot and stomped on Ningfan's head with the strength to flatten mountains and rivers. He was certain that Ningfan had exhausted all of his magic power. He was certain that Ningfan had lost all of his combat power. At this moment, Ningfan's eyes flashed with a cold light. He opened his mouth and sucked in a mouthful of air, as if he was swallowing the sun and the moon, swallowing the blood rain into his stomach. The blood of the primordial spirits of the 3 void glimpse stage experts, and the blood rain of the 800 divine transformation realm experts turned into the vast essence qi in his body. In just an instant, Ningfan's essence qi was fully restored. Apparently, he had used the life-killing technique to replenish his essence qi. Looking at Ningfan, who was as calm as a deep pond, Qian Gui's heart became more and more uneasy. His foot was like a gigantic mountain, and he was above Ningfan's head. However, when the foot was 3 zhang above Ningfan's head, it could not step down no matter how hard it tried. Ningfan's terrifying essence qi formed an invisible barrier which prevented Qian Gui from breaking through it to launch his attacks. At this moment, Ningfan suddenly raised his head and met Qian Gui's eyes. At this moment, a sense of impending death emerged in Qian Gui's heart. He could clearly feel the abundant magical power within Ningfan's body. No, that's impossible. You've clearly used up all your magic power. Why? Before Gan Gui could finish, he felt a sharp pain in his leg. Ningfan grabbed the leg that was about to step on Qian Gui and forcefully tore it from his body. Countless drops of black blood splattered across the sky from where Qiangui's leg was cut off. Who does he think he is? How dare he step on Ning Fan's head? Ning Fan exerted a palm force, and the giant's broken leg exploded into blood mist. He did not give the single-legged giant any time to escape. His essence Qi activated the black flames, turning them into 108 layers of flame rings that engulfed the single-legged giant, along with the other 10 Void Refinement Realm experts. High-grade Mortal Void Realm, Flame Ring Technique. In the past, he didn't have enough cultivation base to fully activate the power of the heavenly cold earth fire. Now that his cultivation base had improved tremendously, the heavenly cold earth fire had become a supreme killing weapon in his hands. The 108 layers of flame rain fell from the sky, taking away the lives of countless Gold Core Realm and Nascent Soul Realm experts who were unconscious on the ground. Through the continuous slaughter, Ning Fan's essence Qi was continuously replenished. Qiangui, who was at the center of the 108 layers of flame rings, was filled with shock. Before he could beg for mercy, he had already turned into ashes. Even until his death, he could not understand why Ning Fan would actually replenish all his magic power after killing and devouring the blood of his enemies who had obviously used up all his magic power. Even until his death, he still could not understand that it was not magic power at all but essence Qi. He had no idea that he was challenging a mid-reckless Devil Realm expert who could defeat the young Great Emperor. Qiangui's life had replenished Ning Fan's essence Qi. The 10 Void Refinement Realm experts were stunned by the sudden change in the situation. All of them were certain that Qiangui could kill Ning Fan. However, the situation was reversed in an instant and Qiangui was the one who was instantly killed. The 10 of them were trapped at the periphery of the Sea of Flames. Their screams began to resound. In an instant, 3 Void Glimpse stage experts and 4 Void Inquiry stage experts died in the Sea of Flames. Their lives had replenished Ning Fan's essence Qi. 2 Void Inquiry stage experts and 1 Void Glimpse stage expert were lucky enough to escape from the Sea of Flames. Each of them was covered in dirt and grime. They were severely injured and panic-stricken like stray dogs. Almost as soon as they escaped from the Sea of Flames, they fled for their lives with all their might. The rain of fire was still falling. The end of the world was still descending. The 100,000 mountains were engulfed by the Sea of Flames. All the unconscious devil spirits on the ground were burned to death. Even the devil mist pond was evaporated. The broken mist horn-broken world showed signs of collapsing again. Ning Fan indifferently glanced at the 3 remaining Void Refinement Realm experts and said to Su Yan, "You kill the Void Glimpse stage experts and I will kill the Void Inquiry stage experts. Remember to search their souls and memories after killing them, and find the exit to leave the broken world." "Understood," Su Yan replied softly. Then, she used her teleportation technique and chased after that Void Glimpse stage devil spirit. Ning Fan's shocking mien shocked her. She obediently obeyed all of his orders. Ning Fan summoned his 8 black burning wings and chased after one of the Void Inquiry stage experts with a speed that was comparable to a Void Pierce stage expert. In just an instant, he appeared in front of that Void Inquiry stage devil spirit, blocking his way. "Don't kill me. I'm willing to be your slave and serve you faithfully for the rest of my life." That Void Inquiry stage devil spirit begged for mercy. "I don't need it." Ning Fan took a step forward and turned into his incarnation in black robes. Then his entire body turned into a ray of black sword light and slashed at an unbelievable speed, cutting that Void Inquiry stage expert in half from his waist. The sword light dispersed and Ning Fan appeared in black robes. He moved at lightning speed and caught a Void Inquiry stage primordial spirit in his hand. It was the primordial spirit of that Void Inquiry stage devil spirit. "Don't kill me. Please don't." "Noisy." Ning Fan's eyes flashed with impatience. He directly searched the primordial spirit's soul and memories, ignoring the miserable cries of the primordial spirit. After a long time, the primordial spirit gradually quietened down and turned into an idiot with empty eyes. Ning Fan's eyes frowned. There was actually no record of the exit to the broken world in the memories of this Void Inquiry stage old monster. According to what this old monster knew, the only person who knew about the exit was probably Qiangui. However, Qiangui had long been killed by Ning Fan and his primordial spirit no longer existed. Let's check the other person's memories and see if he also doesn't know about the exit of the broken world. Ning Fan swallowed the primordial spirit of the void inquiry stage devil spirit and chewed it. He did not feed it to his spiritual puppets. Instead, he consumed it himself. By using the ancient devil ancestral talisman to refine the primordial spirit of a void refinement realm old monster. A void refinement realm old monster could increase his essence chi by around 10,000 units. Killing these void refinement realm devil spirits had increased his essence chi by at least 100,000 units. In a flash, Ning Fan chased after a void inquiry stage devil spirit. Sensing that Ning Fan was chasing after him, that void inquiry stage devil spirit was nearly scared to death. He cursed while fleeing. I am General Shimo's subordinate. If you dare to kill me, he will never let you go. Shimo? I really want to see how he is going to chase after me. Destroy. Boom! Ning Fan sent out a samadhi fire palm. The palm imprint condensed from black flames incinerated the physical body of the void inquiry stage devil spirit. However, his primordial spirit was not incinerated. The primordial spirit of the void inquiry stage was horrified. He desperately tried to escape from the sea of black flames. He already had an instinctive fear towards the black flames. He would never forget the scene of killing 7 void refinement realm devil spirits with just a single black flame. No. He no longer had eternal life. He no longer had a chance to live. Soul search. Ning Fan did not even give him a chance to curse and directly searched his soul and memories. After letting out a series of miserable shrieks, the void inquiry stage devil spirit also turned into an idiot and was swallowed by Ning Fan. Ning Fan frowned again. This void inquiry stage devil spirit also did not know about the exit of the broken world. It seemed like the only person who knew about the exit of the broken world was Qian Gui. Coincidentally, Qian Gui had already been killed by Ning Fan. He can't find the exit, huh? Ning Fan gently shook his head. He flapped his 8 wings and went to meet up with Su Yan. Su Yan was a void inquiry stage cultivator. It was a piece of cake for her to kill a severely injured void glimpse stage expert. She had already completed the task that Ning Fan gave her, which was to search the soul and memories of that void glimpse stage devil. However, what disappointed her was that he did not know about the exit of the broken world. After the two of them met up, they exchanged what they had found. However, none of them had any information about the exit of the broken world. Master, what should we do now? Can we still get out? Su Yan's tone was calm. She had thought about it. Actually, it was not a bad thing even if they could not get out. She could live with Ning Fan in the mist-horn broken world forever. Perhaps one day when she was strong enough, she could break the broken world and travel through the void to leave this place. Even if they could not leave, it was also a good thing. As long as she is with Ning Fan, it doesn't matter even if they are trapped in this world. Of course we can. However, since we don't know the exit, we will have to use some methods if we want to get out. Destroy this broken world. What? Su Yan thought that she misheard him. Ning Fan actually wanted to destroy a small kiliocosm. Even if this small kiliocosm was a broken world, it was not something that a void inquiry stage cultivator could destroy. Ancient Devil Dao, transforming bones into soldiers. Ning Fan bit off his little finger and summoned 6 million gold core realm devil soldiers. His little finger healed instantly, but Su Yan's face turned pale. This is the lost divine ability of the ancient fiend gods and devils. Transforming bones into soldiers. The bone-crushing divine soldiers could be used to create a clan by extracting a piece of bone from a fiend god. This was a great divine ability. Ning Fan had 6 million devil soldiers. Under his command, all of them rose into the sky and continued to attack a certain spot in the sky. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. 10 days later, the sky that was being attacked by the 6 million devil soldiers gradually showed signs of instability. At this moment, Ning Fan's eyes flashed. He dispersed the 6 million devil soldiers and held Su Yan in his arms. Then they soared into the sky and directly crashed into the unstable space. Break. Ning Fan was at the mid-reckless devil realm. The strength of his physical body was far stronger than ordinary second-level golden body refinement realm cultivators. The force of the collision directly caused the entire world to shake. That weak spot of the world was even blasted open, creating a gap. "Look, we are out." Ning Fan's tone was filled with a teasing tone. Su Yan, on the other hand, was so shocked that she could not close her red lips. The two of them appeared in Tai Chi City. All of a sudden, their void inquiry stage aura force swept across the area, startling countless cultivators in the city. "Xiemo, come here and accept your death." Ning Fan's tone was calm, but his words enraged countless members of the Misthorn clan. The broken world of the Misthorn clan had collapsed and the fate of their clan leader was unknown. Xiemo was already the new clan leader of the Misthorn clan. Now someone dared to publicly insult their clan leader in the Misthorn clan. Even if they have void inquiry stage aura force, the Misthorn clan would not forgive them. How audacious! How dare you cause trouble in my Misthorn clan? You're courting death. Countless members of the Misthorn clan rose into the sky. However, when they saw that the intruders were Ning Fan and Su Yan, all of them were stunned and did not know what to do. What happened? The former clan leader, Su Yan, is not dead? What happened? The one who challenged the dignity of the Misthorn clan was actually revered Ming of the Rain Palace? In Tai Chi City, clan leader Xiemo, who was chatting happily with the two Void Refinement Realm experts of the Misthorn clan, suddenly wore a grim expression. How is this possible? Why are they still alive? Didn't Qian Gui say that Su Yan had already died in the broken world? Xiemo tried to activate the contracts in his body to contact Qian Gui and the others. However, he realized that all the contracts had failed. What exactly happened? Why can't I contact Qian Gui and the others? Could it be that they are all dead? What kind of joke is this? In Tai Chi City, a bored little girl who was gnawing on a fifth revolution pill suddenly raised her bright eyes and revealed a joyful expression. Brother Biscuit is back. However, his chi has become so strong. It even gives me a very familiar feeling. A trace of vast demonic power flashed across the little girl's left eye. That trace of demonic chi was different from all the current demonic power. It was the demonic power of an ancient demon. It complemented Ning Fan's ancient devil chi. Chapter 485. In Tai Chi City, a storm was brewing. Ning Fan's spirit sense scanned across countless devil cultivators of the Misthorn clan coldly. Only when he reached a certain building in the Devil City did his expression become slightly calmer. Ming Ke obediently followed Ning Fan's instructions and stayed in the house without leaving. She did not encounter any danger or trouble. If that was the case, Ning Fan would have no qualms about settling the old scores with the Misthorn clan. I don't like to talk nonsense. Xiemo, get over here and die. Ning Fan's voice resounded across Tai Chi City once again. This time, countless members of the Misthorn clan were filled with rage when they saw Ning Fan provoking clan leader, Xiemo, for the second time. Ning Fan actually had the guts to ask the dignified patriarch of the Misthorn clan to come out and accept his death. Even though Ning Fan had a great reputation and his background in pill refinement was the best in the Rain world, Xiemo was the leader of the Misthorn clan. He was a person with a high status in the entire Rain world. How could Ning Fan possibly insult him? All of a sudden, many devil cultivators of the Misthorn clan glared at Ning Fan with unkind eyes and shouted angrily. Revered Ming, if you respect me, I will respect you tenfold. Xiemo is the patriarch of our Misthorn clan. He has a revered status and is well known throughout the Rain world. He is not someone you can insult. It's true that your alchemy skills are unrivaled, but our Misthorn clan is one of the most powerful forces in the entire Rain world. If you were to offend the Misthorn clan, the consequences won't be something you can bear. Zhou Ming, you are just a half-step Void Refinement Realm cultivator after all. You are not a true Void Refinement Realm old monster yet. You haven't even attained the Void Glimpse stage yet. How dare you insult clan leader Xiemo, who is at the Void Inquiry stage? You simply don't know the immensity of heaven and earth. Do you think that a mere half-step Void Refinement Realm cultivator, like you, is qualified to challenge my clan leader? Each of the Misthorn devil cultivators automatically ignored Ning Fan's terrifying aura force. However, no one believed that he could break through to the Void Inquiry stage in just a few months. Everyone knew that Ning Fan was a half-step void refinement realm cultivator, who had the strength and courage to kill Shikuan and Mo Xiao consecutively. However, that was all. Mo Xiao was a void inquiry stage old monster, and he died in Ning Fan's hands. However, when he died, he was severely injured and his cultivation base had dropped. This did not mean that Ning Fan had the strength to kill a void inquiry stage expert. It could only be said that he was extremely courageous as he dared to kill the 9 palace lords of the Rain Palace. As for Shikuan, it was Ning Fan who killed him. Besides, Shikuan's cultivation base was unrivaled among Void Glimpse stage experts. However, this battle could only prove that Ning Fan had unrivaled combat power among Void Glimpse stage experts. It did not mean that he was a match for Void Inquiry stage old monsters. In the eyes of the world, Ning Fan might have the combat power to fight against a Void Inquiry stage expert. However, he would definitely lose more than win in a battle against them. At the end of the day, he was just a half-step Void Refinement Realm expert. What made people fear him was his courage, Pill Refinement Realm and background. They still could not truly associate Ning Fan with a Void Inquiry stage old monster. Mo, on the other hand, was already a true Void Inquiry stage expert. Ning Fan, who was just a half-step Void Refinement Realm cultivator, had provoked Mo and threatened to ask him to come here and face his death. In the eyes of countless cultivators of the Mist Horn clan, this action was undoubtedly stupid. Everyone thought that this was an arrogant and egotistical act, an act of seeking one's own death. However, the devil cultivators of the Mist Horn clan could not understand why Su Yan did not die in the collapse of the Mist Horn broken world like the rumors said. Instead, she suddenly appeared beside Ning Fan. Even if Su Yan did not die, as the former clan leader of the Mist Horn clan, her standpoint was different from Ning Fan's. Now that Ning Fan was provoking clan leader Mo, why didn't Su Yan stop him and protect the dignity of the Mist Horn clan? Could it be that Su Yan was dissatisfied after hearing that Mo had succeeded the position of clan leader, and asked Ning Fan to come here to make things difficult for him? If that was the case, Su Yan's action was a little bad. Asking an outsider to deal with one of her own clan members for the sake of power and benefits was an extremely shameful act. Former clan leader, please take action and expel Zhou Ming to show the might of our Mist Horn clan. A few Divine Transformation Realm old monsters of the Mist Horn clan cupped their fists at Su Yan from a distance, and made a request to Ning Fan. However, they did not show much respect to Su Yan. Instead, there was some dissatisfaction and blame in their eyes. Their dissatisfaction was because they suspected that Su Yan had colluded with outsiders to harm the Mist Horn clan. The words former clan leader were particularly harsh. They were reminding Su Yan that no matter what the reason for her disappearance was, it happened suddenly, and Mo had already succeeded the position of clan leader. They hoped that Su Yan would consider the big picture, and not collude with outsiders to harm the clan for the sake of power and benefits. Former clan leader. What a great title. Su Yan has always treated all of you with respect and never neglected you. Today, all of you are using words to insult Su Yan. What is the reason for this? Su Yan dared not accept the title of former clan leader. May I ask all of you elders, according to the rules of the Mist Horn clan, if I, Su Yan, am still alive after going missing, who should be the clan leader of the Mist Horn clan, Mo or me? All of you address Su Yan as former clan leader, right from the start. It seems that all of you are certain that Mo is the current clan leader. All of you are so protective of Mo, but you have abandoned me. Could it be that Mo has given all of you some benefits? Or have I, Su Yan, offended all of you? Su Yan smiled self-deprecatingly. She had only left for 3.5 months, and the Mist Horn clan had already changed hands. This was really fast. Her life plate was not kept in the clan. Naturally, no one knew whether she was dead or not. At most, they could only spread rumors that she had gone missing. According to the rules of the Mist Horn clan, if the clan leader was confirmed to be dead, the respected elders of the clan could elect the next clan leader. However, if the clan leader was not confirmed to be dead but just missing, the next clan leader could only be elected after she had been missing for at least 10 years. No one could confirm her death. She had only been missing for 3.5 months. According to the rules of the clan, They were not allowed to elect a new clan leader. However, Xiemo had violated the rules of the clan and became the clan leader. He even received the unanimous support of all the elders. Su Yan could not help but guess that Xiemo had already secretly contacted all the elders and changed the rules of the clan. That was why he was able to elect Xiemo as the clan leader when she was only missing for 3 months. In other words, all the elders of the Misthorn clan had most likely been bribed by Xiemo and were loyal to him. These people might not have participated in the plan to kill Su Yan directly, but they were not kind people either. Su Yan naturally did not intend to be polite to them. Her words were backed by the rules of the clan. All the elders of the Misthorn clan were speechless. Just as Su Yan had guessed, these elders had indeed received a lot of benefits from Xiemo. Besides, Xiemo had also presented the evidence of the collapse of the Misthorn Broken World. The Misthorn Broken World had collapsed and Su Yan's fate was unknown. Even if she was still alive, no one knew when she would be able to escape from the Broken World. A country could not be without a leader. The Misthorn clan must have someone to govern it, and the only candidates were the 3 Void Refinement Realm experts in the clan. Gui Jiao was just a Void Glimpse stage expert, and was bribed by Xiemo naturally. He would not compete with Xiemo. Both the former clan leader and Xiemo were Void Inquiry stage experts. However, the former clan leader had made a grave mistake, and was no longer qualified to be the clan leader. Besides, he was also bribed by Xiemo and would not compete with Xiemo for the position at all. Under such circumstances, Xiemo openly became the clan leader of the Misthorn clan, fulfilling his wish of many years. It could be said that making Xiemo the clan leader was not in accordance with the rules of the clan. There were also rumors about Su Yan's disappearance in the clan. They speculated that her disappearance and the collapse of the Broken World were all planned by Xiemo. However, Xiemo dealt with some of the people who spread the rumors and bribed a small number of people. Very soon, the rumors stopped spreading. The elders of the Misthorn clan ignored the rules of the clan after receiving benefits. They did not investigate the reason behind the collapse of the Broken World, and directly accepted Xiemo as their leader. It was obvious that they wanted to renounce the darkness and join the light. When these thoughts were exposed by Su Yan, some of them felt ashamed while some of them flew into a rage out of humiliation. However, none of them were willing to come out and apologize to Su Yan. None of them addressed Su Yan as the clan leader anymore. Everyone in the clan had been subdued by Ximeo's threats and promises. The Misthorn clan no longer belonged to Su Yan. As you can see, I, Xiemo, am the true clan leader of the Misthorn clan, Su Yan. I order you to kill Zhou Ming on the spot. If you dare to disobey my order, you will be charged with the crime of betraying the clan. I will mobilize the entire strength of the Misthorn clan and mobilize all the devil spirits in the Broken World to kill you. Su Yan. When all the elders were in the wrong, Xiemo appeared together with a few Void Refinement Realm experts. Other than Gui Jiao and the former clan leader of the Misthorn clan, there were also a few unfamiliar faces among these Void Refinement Realm experts. Each of them seemed to be the helpers that Xiemo had found. His cold eyes swept past Su Yan with disdain. In his opinion, as long as he threatened her with 15 Void Refinement Realm Devil Spirits of the Broken World, Su Yan would definitely be afraid. Devil Spirits of the Broken World? Are you talking about them? Ning Fan's voice suddenly sounded. Everyone's eyes focused on him. In his hand, there were 15 traces of Death Chi of Primordial Spirit. Each of them was left behind by a Void Refinement Realm Old Monster after their death. Hiss. All of a sudden, countless cultivators of the Misthorn clan were astonished. Especially Xiemo. At this moment, he recognized the source of those traces of Qi. Chapter 486. Many years later, when some old monsters of the Internal Sea recall the number 1 Devil Lord of the Internal Sea, they could not help but think of a white-robed young man. That white-robed young man instantly killed 3 bandit kings with a single blow. A trace of his aura force knocked out millions of Gold Core Realm and Nascent Soul Realm cultivators. Ordinary people could not even stay conscious around him. In Tai Chi City of the Misthorn clan, Ning Fan fully unleashed his devil might and knocked out countless experts. Just like what he promised Su Yan, he did not kill any low-level members of the clan. However, he did not hide his killing intent toward Xiemo at all. In Taichi City, there were still 3 Void Refinement Realm experts of the Mist Horn clan including Xiemo, Gui Jiao and Ingong. There were also 22 Divine Transformation Realm experts of the Mist Horn clan including 6 elders. There were also 9 Divine Transformation Realm experts from the Internal Sea who were observing the battle, and a group of Divine Transformation Realm servants brought by Little Ming Quebec. Each and every one of these remaining experts looked at Ning Fan with astonished expressions. Those Divine Transformation Realm experts, in particular, were extremely terrified. Zhou Su Yan is a member of our Mist Horn clan. Today is a private matter of our clan. Do you really want to interfere? Shimo's expression turned grim. His words were directly ignored by Ning Fan. Zhou, if you leave now, I can let bygones be bygones. If you continue to show killing intent towards me, my Mist Horn clan will not rest until you are dead. Xiemo continued to threaten him, but Ning Fan still ignored him. Zhou, let me tell you, I have signed a contract with millions of devil spirits. If you provoke me again. Noisy. Ning Fan's patience had run out. His body turned into a trace of smoke in the void and approached Xiemo with terrifying devil might. As soon as they saw Ning Fan taking action, the 9 unrelated Divine Transformation Realm experts hurriedly left Taichi City. Little Ming Ke was also gnawing on a pill while stepping on a white cloud with a large group of servants. She left Taichi City and approached Su Yan. The 22 Divine Transformation Realm experts of the Mist Horn clan formed a formation and blocked Ning Fan's path. They attacked one after another, swearing to protect Xiemo with their lives. Ning Fan did not have the slightest intention to show them any mercy. Since these Divine Transformation Realm cultivators dared to attack him, they should be prepared to die. Myriad Sword-style Shadow. Ning Fan's essence chi poured into the Separation Slayer and danced in the air. The originally light body of the sword suddenly produced countless sword shadows. He could slash 50 million shadows of swords with one slash, but he did not have to use his full strength to deal with 22 Divinity Transformation Stage cultivators. He merely slashed out 10 million shadows of swords with one slash, which was 1/5 of his strength. Even so, the sword was divided into thousands of sword shadows. With one sweep of the sword aura, all 22 semi-god realm cultivators were drowned in the sword aura. Nothing was left of them. Su Yan sadly closed her eyes, unable to bear to watch any longer. Her former clansman had died under Ning Fan's sword. In the end, she still could not completely calm her heart. However, ever since she was deposed by these clansmen, she no longer had anything to do with the Mist Horn tribe. The life and death of these Divine Transformation Realm cultivators had nothing to do with her anymore. When she opened her eyes, she thought that all 22 of them had died. To her surprise, she discovered that none of the 22 soul formation cultivators had died. Although the sword light destroyed their physical bodies, it deliberately left their primordial spirits untouched. Their primordial spirits were strung together by the threads of magic power that Ning Fan condensed. Seeing that the 22 Divine Transformation Realm cultivators could not even stop Ning Fan's footsteps, each of the Divine Transformation Realm cultivators who were watching from the side were filled with fear. Seeing that Ning Fan captured 22 of them but did not kill them. Instead, he strung their primordial spirits with a thread and humiliated them to the extreme. The expressions of Xiemo and the other 2 Void Refinement Realm experts became even uglier. Zhou, kill me if you have the guts. I swear that I will defend Lord Xiemo even if I have to die. One of the Divine Transformation Realm elders shouted angrily. I don't believe a single word that Su Yan said to slander Lord Xiemo. Zhou, unless you can show us the evidence to prove that Lord Xiemo has plotted against Su Yan, what reason do you have to attack him? Another old man said hatefully, kill me. I'm going to perish together with you. The curses of the Divine Transformation Realm old monsters could not make Ning Fan show even the slightest bit of emotion. Killing all of you is too easy. I want to plant slave marks on all of you. From today onwards, your descendants will be my devil slaves forever. Break. Ning Fan only said one sentence, but it immediately made all the Divine Transformation Realm elders' faces filled with fear. Slave marks were the restrictive ability of the ancient devils. It was a type of lost ability which was widely used by the devil race in ancient times. For example, Great Emperor Mo Luo used slave marks to control the 4 great slave clans, causing them to be unable to get rid of the fate of being slaves for generations to come. The method of planting slave marks had long been lost. The 4 great slave clans were still looking for ways to break the slave marks. They did not think that Ning Fan knew how to use slave marks at all. They only thought that Ning Fan was just trying to scare them. Ning Fan was too lazy to explain. He released a trace of ancestral talisman power from his palm and directly went into the 22 primordial spirits. In an instant, the Mo Luo slave marks in their bodies were wiped out one by one. At this moment, the worldview of the 22 primordial spirits crumbled. The slave marks that they had been suffering for their entire lives were actually wiped out by Ning Fan? The method to break the slave marks recorded on the slate was to use the power of ancestral talismans to erase the Mo Luo slave marks. Other than Ning Fan, no one else knew about it. The small faces of the 22 primordial spirits were filled with fear. They did not have the slightest hint of joy from breaking the slave marks. They had been struggling for their entire lives. Many of them were eager to break the Mo Luo slave marks. As long as the slave marks were not broken, all of their descendants would carry the devil marks on their bodies forever. They would forever be Mo Luo's slaves. They had used all of their methods, but they still could not erase the Mo Luo slave marks. However, they did not expect that Ning Fan could easily erase the slave marks as easily as turning his palm. This should have been a joyous occasion if Ning Fan did not plant another slave mark on them. After erasing the slave marks, Ning Fan activated the power of the ancestral talisman and used his essence qi to carve the devil marks on the bodies of the 22 primordial spirits. The slave marks were a type of restriction that was different from the demon restrictions of the demon race. It was more effective in controlling the devil race. Moreover, it could be passed down from generation to generation and would never be erased. Stop. No. The 22 small primordial spirits shrieked in pain. They struggled helplessly as Ning Fan planted the slave marks on them one by one. From this moment onwards, they no longer had the slightest intention to resist Ning Fan. Once they resist, the slave marks would activate. The slave marks were the same as Mo Luo's slave marks. They would be passed down for eternity, enslaving the person who was planted with the slave marks and all of their descendants. From now on, these 22 primordial spirits could only be Ning Fan's slaves. If they betray him, they would die. No. I don't want to be loyal to you. I want to be loyal to Lord Xiemo. One of the primordial spirits tried to resist the slave marks. However, the slave marks immediately activated. It was tortured by the irresistible pain and let out a piercing scream. After a few breaths, that primordial spirit was exhausted from screaming. He was already extremely weak. His eyes were filled with pain and fear. He wanted to commit suicide. However, he realized that as soon as he had such a thought, he would lose control of his body and he would not be able to commit suicide. Moreover, he would feel an even more intense pain which was worse than death. When the slave marks activate, the person who was planted with the slave marks would be in utter misery. He who was originally unyielding gradually surrendered. He knelt in the void and kept kowtowing to Ning Fan. Master, please spare my life. Please spare my life. This subordinate is willing to follow Master and kill Xiemo. Master, please stop the slave marks from activating. The faces of the other 21 primordial spirits turned pale. They were not afraid of death, but they were afraid of the slave marks. This was because once the slave marks are planted on them, their life and death would no longer be in their control. Moreover, their descendants would also not be able to escape the fate of becoming slaves. So this is the slave mark that the 4 great slave clans hate, huh? It's actually quite useful. Ning Fan continued to activate the power of the ancestral talisman. He divided a trace of the ancestral talisman's power into millions of portions and sprinkled them on Tai Chi City, like a dark golden rain of light, entering all the unconscious devil cultivators of the Mist Horn tribe. When Su Yan saw this scene, she just let out a soft sigh and did not say anything. However, in the eyes of Xiemo and the other two, it turned into uncontrollable shock and a trace of instinctive fear towards the slave marks. They did not understand why Ning Fan knew the method to plant slave marks. However, they understood that at the moment Ning Fan planted the slave marks on all the devil cultivators of the Misthorn tribe, no one in the Misthorn tribe was their subordinate or helper anymore. How dare you plant slave marks on the 22 divine transformation realm experts of my tribe? How dare you plant slave marks on millions of members of my tribe? Zhou Ming, how dare you? How dare you enslave my tribe? You deserve to die. How dare I? Not only do I want to enslave the Misthorn tribe, but I also want to imprison the Misthorn tribe in the tranquil ocean forever. Devour. Ning Fan's eyes flashed with cold light. The function of the ancestral talisman was not only to refine one's blood and plant slave marks. It could also deprive a slave of their cultivation base. The slave marks in the bodies of every member of the Misthorn tribe contained a trace of Ning Fan's ancestral talisman power. At the moment Ning Fan activated the power of the ancestral talisman, the cultivation base of all the enslaved members of the Misthorn tribe was rapidly devoured by the talisman power and transferred to Ning Fan's body. The devil cultivators who were originally at the Gold Core realm fell to the Harmonious Spirit realm. The nascent Soul realm devil cultivators fell to the Gold Core realm. As for the 22 divine transformation realm devil cultivators, they were terrified to find out that their cultivation bases had been devoured and plunged to the nascent Soul realm. The cultivation base of millions of cultivators was used to increase Ning Fan's essence chi, but the increase was less than 10,000 units. Each of the unconscious cultivators was awakened by the pain of their cultivation base being taken away. To their despair, they found out that all of them had been planted with slave marks and their cultivation base had been taken away. To a member of the devil race who loved battles and strived to become stronger, having their cultivation base taken away and becoming a slave was more painful than death. Ning Fan could not annihilate the Misthorn tribe, but he must teach this devil race who betrayed Su Yan a lesson. That lesson was to make the Misthorn tribe become one of Ning Fan's great slaves for generations to come. With my order, all devils who have been planted with slave marks will have their cultivation base taken away and be imprisoned here. None of you are allowed to leave Tai Chi City without permission. Otherwise, the slave marks will activate and you will suffer a fate worse than death. As soon as Ning Fan gave his order, his devil chi surged. Millions of members of the Misthorn tribe felt that the slave marks in their bodies had been planted with Ning Fan's order. After Ning Fan gave his order, almost no one dared to leave Tai Chi City without permission. They would be imprisoned by the slave marks in Tai Chi City for eternity. At this moment, countless members of the Misthorn tribe who were hostile to Ning Fan knelt down one after another. They had no choice but to obey. Each of the divine transformation realm cultivators was dumbfounded. It was their first time seeing such a domineering restriction that could control millions of people as slaves at the same time and take away their cultivation base. Such a method was just too terrifying. Next, it's your turn. Ning Fan's body emitted the power of the ancestral talisman. The bloodline power of the ancestral devil made Xiemo, Gui Jiao and Yin Gong feel oppressed and terrified. Xiemo gritted his teeth. He clearly realized that the current Ning Fan was a little difficult to deal with. You guys stand guard at the side. I will meet him in the future. Xiemo no longer called himself the clan leader of the Misthorn tribe. All the devils of his tribe had been enslaved by Ning Fan. He was already alone and his power had been lost. Even though Ning Fan had instantly killed 3 bandit kings and was proficient in the ability of the slave marks, Xiemo still did not think that he would lose to Ning Fan. He still remembered the exchange of blows between him and Ning Fan 3 months ago. At that time, Ning Fan was barely able to withstand his attack. Just like that day, Xiemo pointed out a finger and devil chi surged around his body. When he pressed his finger down, the devil chi turned into a 10,000 zhang tall mountain and pressed down on Ning Fan's head. The suppressive force of this 10,000 zhang tall mountain was a true void inquiry stage attack. Its destructive power should not be underestimated. Even the 3 bandit kings would not be able to withstand this attack unscathed. Facing the same attack, Ning Fan's eyes were filled with disdain. Before he attained the reckless devil realm, he could already withstand Shimo's finger attack. Now Ning Fan was already at the mid-reckless devil realm. His physical body had surpassed ordinary body cultivators at the second level of the golden body realm. Even so, he still casually used a punch to block the devil mountain. However, the destructive power of this punch was no longer the same as before. Boom streams of collapsing vortexes spread out from Ning Fan's fist light, easily shattering the devil mountain. Moreover, the remaining force of the attack did not diminish at all. Just a casual punch from Ning Fan had the power to severely injure Shimo. Shimo's eyes widened in shock. He did not expect that Ning Fan would become so strong in just 3 months. The powerful fist light made him feel suffocated. Without hesitation, he directly patted his storage pouch and took out 3 ancient jade slips. Then he crushed them. Immediately, the 3 jade slips shattered one after another. Each of them had a void inquiry stage attack, which collided with Ning Fan's fist light. Under the obstruction of the 3 void inquiry stage attacks, Shimo managed to escape from the range of Ning Fan's fist light. 3 months ago he could at least maintain a draw with Ning Fan. But 3 months later he could not even withstand a casual punch from Ning Fan. His eyes were filled with dispiritedness and unwillingness. Shimo ordered the 2 experts behind him. Gui Jiao, Ingong, the 2 of you go and delay him for a while. I will lift the seal on the void inquiry stage attack, and help you from the side. Understood. Gui Jiao and Ingong knew that if they do not eliminate Ning Fan today, they would either die or be subdued by Ning Fan and become his slaves. Their cultivation base would be taken away and their lives would be worse than death. Even though they knew that Ning Fan was very strong, they had no choice but to fight him head-on. There was no way out. The 3 of them flew out at the same time, surrounding Ning Fan from 3 sides without leaving a single gap. Gui Jiao and Ingong used their own methods. They used their magic techniques and magic treasures to besiege Ning Fan. At the same time, they carefully kept a distance from Ning Fan, as they were afraid that Ning Fan would launch a sudden attack and kill them instantly. They had to admit that Ning Fan's instant killing of the 3 bandit kings had already left a shadow in their hearts. After defeating Shimo in an instant, this shadow expanded infinitely. The 2 of them were extremely afraid of Ning Fan. None of them dared to fight him in close combat. As for Shimo, he patted his storage pouch and took out countless jade slips. He chose one of the ancient jade slips which had a vast and vicissitude ancient devil chi sealed within it. This is the protective jade slip left behind by the 9th generation ancestor of my Mist Horn clan. By breaking this jade slip, you can activate the attack of our ancestor. I don't believe that you can withstand a void inquiry stage attack, just because you are comparable to a void inquiry stage expert. The aura force of a peak void pierce stage attack was revealed from that jade slip, shocking all the divine transformation realm cultivators who were watching the scene. Ning Fan's eyes turned slightly solemn. Shimo's strength was not that great, but he was well prepared. In order to become the clan leader, he had obtained quite a number of good items to protect himself. With Ning Fan's eyesight, he could tell at a glance that each of the jade slips that Shimo was holding was the power of an attack left behind by the ancestors of the Mist Horn clan. After countless years, most of the power of those attacks had already lost most of its power. Even so, many of the magic techniques sealed in the jade slips were not to be underestimated. For example, the 9th generation ancestor jade slip that Shimo was unsealing was the protective item left behind by the 9th generation old ancestor of the Mist Horn clan. Rumor has it that the 9th generation old ancestor of the Mist Horn clan was a true immortal realm ancient devil, who was proficient in wind and wood element abilities. The protective attack that he left behind was originally a true immortal realm attack. However, as time passed, that true immortal realm attack only had void pierce stage power left behind. Even so, this magic technique attack was definitely not to be underestimated. What Ning Fan was more concerned about was that Shimo still had a lot of such jade slips. Shimo even had a few absolute void stage attacks, and a void fragmentation realm attack. This void pierce stage jade slip gave Gui Jiao and Ingong some confidence, and they began to attack Ning Fan with all their might. The reason why the 2 of them were willing to submit to Shimo was because they knew that he had many powerful offensive jade slips. Xiemo obtained these jade slips by chance from a secret place in the clan. With these jade slips, Xiemo did not think that he would lose to Ning Fan at all. Even though he did not understand how Ning Fan and Su Yan managed to escape from the pursuit of millions of devil spirits and get out of the mist-horn-broken world, he did not understand why the contract between the millions of devil spirits and the 15 void refinement realm in the broken world could not be contacted. However, Xiemo believed that as long as he activates this void pierce stage jade slip, it would be more than enough to kill Ning Fan. As long as he is given 3 breaths to activate the jade slip, Ning Fan would certainly die. In Xiaomo's eyes, it was still possible for Gui Jiao and Yin Gong to delay Ning Fan for 3 breaths by joining forces. Xiemo closed his eyes and used all his strength to unseal the jade slips. His ears were filled with the rumbling sounds of Gui Jiao and Yin Gong's magic techniques. Facing the attacks from the two of them, Ning Fan's expression remained unchanged. He just raised his hand and clawed. 5 rays of moonlight fell from the sky and turned them into claw marks. His 5 fingers turned into a claw and tore 5 parts of the moonlight. Each part of the moonlight was gentle, but it carried terrifying destructive power. The moonlight that filled the sky gave off a vast aura force. It was the moon-tearing dragon technique. As soon as this technique was used, all of Gui Jiao and Yin Gong's attacks were broken one after another. This was something that Xiemo did not expect. All of the magic techniques and abilities of Gui Jiao, who was at the Void Glimpse stage, were destroyed by Ning Fan's claw. Even his physical body was directly killed by the moon claw. Only his primordial spirit was captured by Ning Fan. Slave marks were planted on him, depriving his cultivation base and enslaving his primordial spirit. So what if he was a Void Glimpse stage old monster? In front of the ancestral devil Ning Fan, he was only fit to be a slave. And no. Gui Jiao wailed. A dignified void refinement realm expert like him had actually become Ning Fan's slave. It was really worse than death. As for Yin Gong, who was at the void inquiry stage, his magic treasure was destroyed by Ning Fan. He could only withstand half of Ning Fan's claw, while the other half directly destroyed his physical body. Only his primordial spirit managed to escape. It could not withstand the power of Ning Fan's claw at all. This moon-tearing dragon technique was displayed by Ning Fan, who was at the mid-reckless devil realm. Its destructive power was just too terrifying. Xiemo suddenly opened his eyes and saw Yin Gong's primordial spirit dashing towards him while being bathed in blood. Behind Yin Gong, Ning Fan was chasing after him at a leisurely pace. He looked calm and relaxed, as if killing Gui Jiao and severely injuring Yin Gong in a single move was just a normal thing. Xiemo found it hard to believe. Even if Ning Fan is at the Void Inquiry stage, he should not be this strong. The 3 bandit kings could not stop Ning Fan for even a moment. Gui Jiao and Yin Gong were also no match for him. The two of them did not manage to buy 3 breaths of time for Xiemo at all. They could not even delay him for half a breath. You are not an ordinary Void Inquiry stage cultivator. You have the strength of an unrivaled Void Inquiry stage expert. Just when Xiemo realized this, Ning Fan, who was chasing after Yin Gong, suddenly grabbed his primordial spirit and planted a slave mark on him, depriving him of his cultivation base. Ning Fan increased his speed and instantly traveled across a vast distance. He appeared in front of Xiemo and punched him mercilessly. With just a single punch, Xiaomo's devil armor was completely shattered. All of his devil bones were broken. Like a kite with a broken string, he was sent flying by Ning Fan's punch. He coughed out blood incessantly and fell on the ground of Tai Chi City. Then Ning Fan stepped on the soil as if he was stepping on a dead dog. Ning Fan did not give Xiemo any time to use his jade slip at all. Xiaomo's broken body held the jade slip in his hand. He was too unwilling to accept his fate. However, he could not mobilize any of his magic power and was powerless to resist Ning Fan's strength. Don't kill me. I am willing to return the position of the clan leader to Su Yan. Save me, clan leader Su. I know my mistake. Xiemo looked at Ning Fan, who was approaching him step by step, and begged while coughing out blood. Su Yan's almond-shaped eyes were filled with coldness. She did not show any mercy at all. She just could not bear to see the ordinary members of her clan die. but she wanted to kill Xiamo as soon as possible. As for Ning Fan, it was impossible for him to care about Xiamo's pleading. He did not even plan to enslave Xiamo. Bang! With a stomp of his foot, the strength of the mid-reckless devil realm directly crushed Xiamo's physical body into countless pieces of rotten flesh and blood. After capturing Xiamo's primordial spirit, Ning Fan did not say a word and directly ate him alive, killing him in his stomach. Standing in Tai Chi City, Ning Fan's devil chi was monstrous. His eyes were filled with the prestige of an ancestral devil as he scanned the entire city. From now on, the Mist Horn Devil clan will be my slave clan. I can decide your life and death with just a single thought. Those who touch the Mist Horn Devil clan will die. Many Gold Core Realm and Nascent Soul Realm cultivators in the Internal Sea also woke up. After hearing Ning Fan's devil command, and looking at the millions of members of the Mist Horn clan who were bowing and kowtowing to Ning Fan, all the cultivators of the Internal Sea were stunned. Oh my God! What happened in Tai Chi City when they were unconscious? The dignified Mist Horn clan, one of the 4 clans of the Hidden Ocean, was actually subdued by Ning Fan. If this matter is spread out, it would certainly shake the entire Endless Sea. No, it would certainly shake the entire Rain World. In the Rain World, other than Void Fragmentation Realm old monsters, who else could suppress the 4 clans of the Hidden Ocean? Ning Fan was the second cultivator who succeeded in suppressing the Devil clan of the Hidden Ocean after the Thunder Sovereign. Chapter 487. The Misthorn clan, one of the 4 clans of the Hidden Ocean, was suppressed by Ning Fan. This matter shook the entire external Endless Sea overnight. Countless pieces of news spread to every corner of the world like snowflakes. In the Zhou clan, Hong Yi, who was recuperating in seclusion in a certain small kiliocosm, looked at the information in her hands, and a smile appeared in her blood-red eyes. Suppress the Misthorn clan? Moreover, he's different from me. I've only suppressed him, but this kid has completely enslaved the Misthorn tribe. He's not weak at all. If I nurture him carefully, he will become a great help in my counterattack against the Rain Palace. Guards! Hong Yi gave an order. Immediately, 3 Void Refinement Realm experts with vast chi entered the small kiliocosm. Among the 3 of them, one of them was the 3rd elder, Zhou Chun. As for the other 2, they looked rather unfamiliar. They should also be the Void Refinement Realm elders of the Zhou clan. Their chi was much stronger than the 3rd elders. Lord Thunder Sovereign, what instructions do you have for us? The 3 of them knelt to Hong Yi in unison, and their expressions were extremely respectful. As for what they said, if it spreads out, the entire Rain World would be shaken. Moreover, the shock it would bring would definitely not be comparable to the shock Ning Fan experienced when he suppressed the Misthorn tribe. The red-robed man was actually the Thunder Sovereign. But wasn't the remnant soul of the Thunder Sovereign sealed in the Sovereign's tomb? Neither dead nor alive, unable to leave? Why did she turn into a red dress and appear in the inner sea? If the Rain Palace knew that the Thunder Emperor had escaped from the Sovereign's tomb, wouldn't they be greatly shocked? Zhou Wei, Zhou Tong, Zhou Chun, there's a change in my plans. The time of my resurrection will be temporarily postponed. In the plan, the person who will help me return my essence soul will be changed. I will wait for another person to personally bring my soul back to life. What? The resurrection of His Excellency's soul essence is a huge matter, and there can't be the slightest mistake. It's most suitable for us to do it, so why do we have to replace him? There's no need to say more about this. I have my own plans. That kid is more suitable than you guys. After Hong Yi finished speaking, she closed her blood-red eyes and did not say anything else. The 3 elders looked at each other as if they had something to say, but in the end, they did not dare to advise Hong Yi. They sighed and left. Now that the plan had changed, many things had to be rearranged. The 3 of them were going to be busy. Giant Demon Clan, inside the Broken World. The Giant Devil Clan's 8 ancestors stared at the report in their hands in shock. This kid actually has the ability to enslave an entire race. This was simply inconceivable. We have spent our entire lives trying to break the slave mark, but he broke the Misthorn's slave mark in an instant and planted his own slave mark in it. This young man's means are actually so heaven-defying. Should we ask him to help us break the slave marks? A void inquiry stage old ancestor asked in astonishment. The last time we saw him in the broken world, he was clearly just a half-step void refinement realm cultivator. How did he break through to the void inquiry stage in just a few short months? Could it be that he has stored a large amount of magic power and suppressed it at the divine transformation realm, so that he can break through to the void refinement realm in one go? The other old ancestor sucked in a breath of cold air. The magic power of a void inquiry stage cultivator was at least 3 million units. Ordinary divine transformation realm cultivators would not be able to suppress it at all. Humph. So what if he broke through to the void inquiry stage? So what if he suppressed Xiemo, Ingong, Guijiao and the others? Even if he has unrivaled strength among void inquiry stage experts, he will not be able to escape from the manipulation of us, the 8 ancestors of the giant devil clan. Among us there are 2 void pierce stage experts. There was an insurmountable gap between the void pierce stage and the void inquiry stage. Only experts like Yin Tianjue and Prince Lan Ling could fight against a void pierce stage expert when they were still at the void inquiry stage. This young man is nothing to be afraid of. A gloomy void inquiry stage female voice resounded. She said that Ning Fan was worthless. However, there was a deep jealousy in her words. It was obvious that she was jealous of Ning Fan's strength and means. All right. Stop talking. King Julu's hoarse voice resounded. It carried a void pierce stage aura force, causing all the old ancestors to shut their mouths obediently. Even though this young man can break the slave mark, after 8 generations of hard work, we the 8 ancestors can also break the slave mark with our own means. We don't need to borrow the help of an outsider. Let's stick to our original plan. 10 years later, we will use the devil blood in Feng Shuiyan's body as a catalyst to break the slave mark of our clan. But old ancestor, since that Zhou Ming can easily break the slave mark, why do we still need to sacrifice Feng Shuiyan? We can just ask Zhou Ming to do it with a generous gift. After all, Feng Shuiyan is my granddaughter. I also can't bear to see her die. Old ancestor Zhu Yan raised an objection. Zhu Yan, are you questioning my order? King Julu's eyes turned grim. Zhu Yan did not dare to speak anymore. I don't dare to. But Feng Shuiyan, all right. This matter has been decided. Our plan is flawless. There's no need for us to borrow the help of an outsider. You should know that Zhou Ming is an outsider. Even though he has the method to break the slave mark, he also has the ability to plant the slave mark. If he plants a new slave mark on our clan when he breaks the slave mark, wouldn't we have to pledge our loyalty to him? Old ancestor is right. It's Zhu Yan's fault for not thinking things through. Zhu Yan could not refute, and could only remain silent. It's good that you know. Everything will proceed according to plan. We just need to wait for that young man to concoct the sinful ocean pill for us. 10 years. I just need to wait for another 10 years. A hint of gloominess flashed across King Julu's eyes, but no one noticed it. The reason why he had painstakingly gone through 8 generations of suffering was not just to save the slave mark of the giant devil clan. He had his own purpose. For that purpose, he did not mind sacrificing the other 7 ancestors, or the entire giant devil clan, let alone Feng Shuiyan. As long as the plan goes smoothly, not only can I revert to my ancestral form, and cultivate the great Tao of ancient devils, I can even borrow a drop of imitation ancestral blood in Feng Shuiyan's body to obtain the devil bloodline that is at least at the true blood realm. No, I might even have the chance to obtain the royal bloodline and become the legendary King Devil. In the past, my foundation was damaged by the heavenly tribulation, and I had no chance to break through to the void fragmentation realm. However, if I have the bloodline that is above the true blood realm, the day I break through to the revered devil realm is just around the corner. The revered devil realm is much stronger than the void fragmentation realm. In front of my ancient devil clan, any cultivator is just an ant. They are food. King Julu stroked an ancient jade box in his hand. His heart was filled with excitement. Inside the jade box was a low-grade 7th revolution pill, revered blood pill. The purpose of this pill was to consolidate the cultivation base of the revered devil realm. The value of a revered blood pill was immeasurable. If I didn't obtain this revered blood pill in the past, I would never have thought that I would have the chance to become a revered Devil Realm cultivator in this life. In the entire Rain world, no, in the entire 9 worlds, is there anyone whose luck is as good as mine who has the chance to consume a 7th revolution revered blood pill of the ancient devil clan? The revered blood pill in King Julu's hand was just a defective item, but he already regarded it as a supreme treasure. However, he did not know that Ning Fan had obtained 10 of these revered blood pills when he reverted to his ancestral form. After he consumed all of them, his reckless devil realm was stabilized in a short period of time. His inferior luck was not worth mentioning at all compared to Ning Fan's. In the Rain Palace of the Middle State, the Rain Sovereign looked at the information in his hand and his expression changed. According to the information, Ning Fan had broken through to the Void Inquiry stage. However, how was that possible? A few months ago, Ning Fan was just a half-step Void Refinement Realm cultivator. How could he possibly attain the Void Inquiry stage in just a few months? Could it be that this young man has obtained a great opportunity? Or perhaps, this young man is going to marry a peerless genius whose innate potential is not inferior to the Thunder Sovereign and Yun Tianjue? The Rain Sovereign's eyes were filled with uncertainty. He did not know if he would allow Ning Fan to continue cultivating like this. Would he give birth to another sovereign-level enemy? According to the information, King Lan Ling had yet to give Ning Fan some pointers. This made the Rain Sovereign dissatisfied. According to his personality, it was impossible for him to allow a devil cultivator, who did not belong to the Rain Palace, to grow without a limit. However, what gave him a headache was that the stronger Ning Fan was, the higher his chances of entering that place would be. The Rain Sovereign did not want Ning Fan to grow stronger. However, he also hoped that Ning Fan would become stronger and stronger until he could pass through the sea of immortal flames and retrieve that item. He was really conflicted and had a huge headache. Besides, now that Ning Fan had broken through to the Void Inquiry stage, as the Rain Sovereign, should he fulfill his promise in the past and make Ning Fan the Palace Lord of the Scarlet Heaven Palace? The Rain Palace had many branches. Each of them was guarded by a Void Refinement Realm Palace Lord. However, among these many branches, there were only 9 which were the strongest. They were known as the 9 Heaven Divine Palaces. They were named after the 9 heavens, and each of them had a Void Fragmentation Realm expert. The 9th Palace Lord had a respectable status. If it wasn't because Ning Fan was of great value to the Rain Sovereign, how would the Rain Sovereign let him go after he killed the dignified Palace Lord of the Scarlet Heaven Palace, Missouri Shio? Perhaps, making him the Palace Lord of the Scarlet Heaven Palace is also a good thing. When he comes to the Middle State in the future, Jing Hong will be watching over him. With Jing Hong's methods, I can suppress this young man appropriately and suppress his momentum of soaring to the sky. If I tempt him appropriately, I might be able to make him my subordinate. If that's the case, there's no harm in making him the Palace Lord. With his innate potential, he will certainly be a great help to me once he attains the Void Fragmentation Realm. However, I still want to see if he has the intention to become a sovereign and betray the Rain Palace. Will he leave the Rain Palace in the future and establish his own sect to become the second sovereign of the Rain world? Fine. I'll use the matter of the title to test if he has the intention to become a sovereign. When a cultivator of the Rain world breaks through to the Void Refinement Realm, if he or she has outstanding innate potential, he or she would be bestowed a special title by the Rain Palace. Be it King Lan Ling, Marquis Yu Gui or King Ju Lu, all of them were titles bestowed upon cultivators who had attained the Void Refinement Realm. The Rain Sovereign picked up his brush and wrote down 2 titles on a piece of paper in front of him. They were the 2 titles that he was going to bestow upon Ning Fan. One of them was King Ming, which was derived from Ning Fan's alias, Zhou Ming. The other was Marquis White Robe, which was derived from Ning Fan's graceful bearing when he wore white robes and slaughtered everyone in the world. The Rain Sovereign's eyes darkened. If Ning Fan chooses to be a king, it probably means that he has a strong desire to become a sovereign. If he chooses to be a marquis, he probably has some chances to recruit him. The Rain Sovereign would like to see what kind of title Ning Fan would choose. Lord Divine Sovereign, There is a void refinement realm devil cultivator who intends to enter the rain world at the world passage of the devil world. He is one of the 10 great devil generals under Moksha sovereign, Dao Yin. Dao Yin has come to the rain world to kill someone. A subordinate entered the hall and reported, Dao Yin, one of the 10 great devil generals of Moksha sovereign wants to enter my rain world? Humph. In the past, Moksha sovereign forced his way through the world passage and descended upon the rain world. He treated my rain world as nothing. Now he even wants to send his subordinates into my rain world to kill someone. Does he really think that my rain world is the weakest in the 9 worlds and is easily bullied? Chase this person away. Don't allow him to enter our world. The rain sovereign's eyes turned slightly cold. This, the subordinate said awkwardly. Are you questioning my order? I don't dare to. However, that devil general Dao Yin has a sovereign execution token. Sovereign execution token. The rain sovereign frowned. The sovereign execution token was something that all the divine sovereigns of the 9 worlds possessed. It allowed them to enter other worlds to kill someone. Since this devil general Dao Yin came with the token, the rain sovereign had no choice but to let him kill someone in the rain world. Fine. Go and send a message to open the world passage for Dao Yin. Let him choose a world to descend upon. He can't kill too many people. He can only kill one person. Understood. I will do it right away. In the void world passage, devil general Dao Yin stood in the void with the token in his hand. After a long time, there was a commotion on the other side of the world passage. Groups of rain world cultivators opened the world passage and allowed Dao Yin to enter. May I know which world senior is going to descend upon? A divine transformation realm cultivator asked respectfully. Dao Yin did not speak. Instead, he took out a trace of harmonious spirit qi and sealed it into the sovereign execution token. Immediately, the sovereign execution token sensed the owner of the qi. Dao Yin said gloomily, the easternmost of the rain world. The easternmost of the rain world? Senior is going to descend upon the endless sea? The divine transformation realm cultivator of the rain palace was astonished. He had no idea who Dao Yin was going to kill in the endless sea. What puzzled him even more was the trace of harmonious spirit qi that was sealed into the sovereign execution token. He had seen the sovereign execution token before. Over the years, there were many experts from other worlds who came to kill traitors with the token. Every time they entered the worlds, those experts would seal the traitor's qi into the sovereign execution token to find the traitor's location. However, every traitor who was being hunted was at least at the void refinement realm. After all, the sovereign execution token was extremely precious. The opportunity to kill someone should not be wasted on an ant. This divine transformation realm cultivator of the Rain Palace could not understand why Moksha sovereign of the Devil world would send a capable general to kill a harmonious spirit realm junior. However, he also understood that Moksha sovereign's matter was not something a mere divine transformation realm cultivator like him could ask. He did not say much and opened the cloud formation for Devil General Dao Yin. Dao Yin did not say anything else. He took a step into the cloud formation, and his body disappeared without a trace. This cloud formation was a teleportation formation between worlds. It could teleport cultivators to any place in the rain world. However, the landing point could only be accurate to within 1 billion li. If I attack, a mere harmonious spirit realm cultivator will definitely die. Devil General Dao Yin sneered. At the same time, Ning Fan, who was discussing with Su Yan and Ming Ke in the Misthorn clan, suddenly raised his head. His eyes flashed with a hint of cold light. When Devil General Dao Yin activated the Sovereign Execution token, Ning Fan clearly felt a trace of qi being locked onto him. In that sense, there was even undisguised killing intent. Master, what's wrong? Su Yan asked with concern. Ning Fan enslaved the Misthorn clan, but he did not kill too many people. This made her very grateful, and her attitude towards Ning Fan gradually became respectful. Someone wants to kill me. However, you don't have to worry. It's just a void inquiry stage cultivator, and he is very far away from me. This person seems to have chased me all the way here without stopping at all. However, he definitely won't be able to reach me without a few months. However, there's one thing that I'm very concerned about. What Ning Fan was concerned about was that there were some other qi among the Void Inquiry stage qi. One of them gave Ning Fan a sense of familiarity. Aya. Who is so bold to kill Ming Kei's brother Biscuit? Ming Kei will never let him go. Since someone wants to harm brother Biscuit, let's not go to Si Kong Demon Island. Let's go and beat him up first, alright? The little pill devil raised her pink and tender fists, looking like she wanted to avenge Ning Fan. Go. Why shouldn't we go? We have to go to Si Kong Demon Island after all. According to Priest Chu, you have yet to receive the power of inheritance from the Seat Song Stone statue. Previously, he didn't dare to let you receive the inheritance because he was afraid that you wouldn't be able to withstand the power. However, now that I'm with you, you don't have to worry. I can protect you and let you receive Seat Song's inheritance safely. Ning Fan glanced at Old Man Chu from the corner of his eyes. Old Man Chu immediately lowered his head in fear. After suppressing the Mist Horn tribe, Ning Fan purposely looked for Old Man Chu and interrogated him. All he asked was about the secrets of Si Kong Demon Island. At first, Old Man Chu refused to say anything. However, after Ning Fan slightly punished him, he spat out all of his secrets. He did not have any ill intentions towards Ming Quebec. He just wanted her to receive Seat Song's inheritance and return to her ancestral form to become the ancient demon Seat Song. Then she would become their master again. After knowing this, Ning Fan let Old Man Chu go and no longer bullied him. Now Old Man Chu was extremely afraid of Ning Fan. He still had lingering fear about the interrogation that day. Alright then. If Brother Biscuit can accompany me, I will go back to Seat Song Demon Island. From today onwards, I will eat wherever Brother Biscuit goes. The little pill devil held Ning Fan's arm. Her expression was adorable, and she was trying her best to please him. She no longer wanted to leave Ning Fan's side. She wanted to eat all the pill biscuits in the world. After we go to Si Kong Demon Island, we will go to Pill Island along the way. Then we can return to the giant devil clan. With my current strength, there are some things that I can deal with. You guys rest early. We will depart tomorrow and head to Si Kong Demon Island. As soon as Ning Fan finished speaking, he floated away and returned to his room. He sat cross-legged on the bed and patted his storage pouch. He took out a bag full of spoils of war and placed it on the bed. His eyes gradually turned solemn. Immortal jade, spiritual herbs, pills, pill recipes, magic treasures. None of them caught Ning Fan's attention. The only thing that caught Ning Fan's attention were the jade slips on the bed. Each of the jade slips contained a full force attack of Ancestor Lan Jiao. As time passed, the power of these attacks had greatly diminished. Otherwise, most of the jade slips would contain the attack power of a life immortal realm, or a true immortal realm attack. As time went by, only around 20 jade slips still retain the destructive power of a void refinement realm attack and above. Among them, there were only 7 void inquiry stage attacks, 4 void pierce stage attacks, 3 absolute void stage attacks and 1 first heavenly layer void fragmentation realm attack. Looking at these jade slips, Ning Fan felt that it was a pity. If he could repair these jade slips and restore their former power, it would be terrifying. It's not really possible to repair them. However, these jade slips seem to have another use. Ning Fan's eyes lit up as if he thought of something. Chapter 488. Ning Fan was unable to completely repair these jade slips. It was impossible for him to restore them to the level of a true immortal realm attack. However, there was a method that he could try. It would most likely restore some of the power of these jade slips. Each of these jade scrolls had been left behind by the Mist Horn clan's ancient devil ancestor. Each of the jade scrolls contains celestial technique attacks. Due to the dissipation of the devil chi, the power of these immortal techniques had been greatly reduced. If a certain amount of devil chi was replenished, these jade slips could recover a lot of their power. As for the source of the devil chi, there is one. Rogue devil. Ning Fan's eyes turned solemn. He had obtained a rogue devil from Wei country, but he had never used it. In the past, he had imagined that he could start trying to control the rogue devil once his cultivation base reaches the peak divine transformation realm. However, the risks involved were naturally extremely great. Ningfan could not guarantee that he would not be devoured by the rogue devil. The higher his cultivation base was, the lower the risk of controlling the rogue devil. Therefore, he would never risk his life to use the rogue devil, unless he was being chased by a void fragmentation realm expert. After that, when he was refining the heaven-deceiving cloak, the all-heaven relic, which was a necessary item to control the loose demon, was accidentally swallowed by the cloak. After losing the all-heaven relic, Ningfan was even more uncertain about whether he could control the rogue devil. Fortunately, now that he had broken through to the mid-reckless devil realm, his cultivation base had improved tremendously. Besides, he had also mastered the method of planting slave marks. Thus, he could try to control the rogue devil again. If he really could not control the rogue devil, Ningfan could only wait until his cultivation base was higher before trying again. However, borrowing the powerful demonic chi of the scattered devil to replenish the power of the jade slip was a wonderful thing. It would definitely succeed. Rogue devils, rogue immortals and rogue demons are at least at the 9th heavenly layer of the void fragmentation realm. If I had the all-heaven relic, I'd have at least a 30% chance of success in controlling the rogue devil with my reckless devil cultivation base. However, without the relic, I'm not sure what my chances of success are. We have to be extremely cautious when it comes to subduing the rogue devils. Ningfan remained silent for a while. Then, he activated the yin-yang locket and floated into the profound yin world. Other living creatures could not enter the profound yin world. Once it sensed a living creature, the power of the realm would suppress it, not allowing living creatures to enter. This could be exploited. He had tried several times to summon the female cultivator in his cauldron ring in the profound yin world, but to no avail. Currently, Ningfan could not control the realm power of the profound yin world at all. Otherwise, he would be able to let other living beings enter it. Currently, Ningfan was the only one who could enter the profound yin world. As for Luoyu, she was an exception. For the same reason, no matter how powerful the loose devil's cultivation was, he would not be able to resist the power of the boundary realm. He would not be able to escape from the storage pouch and enter the profound yin world. Even if he fails to subdue the rogue devil in the profound yin world, he would not be in any danger with the help of the power that separates the worlds. In the profound yin world, Ningfan entered it with a flash of light. He floated in the yin chi of heaven and earth. In that vast and empty world, there was only a straw hut floating and a giant monument hanging high above. Perhaps one day, when my cultivation base reaches a certain level, I will be able to control the world power of the profound yin world at will, and allow others to enter this world. As for letting little you ere leave the profound yin world, perhaps I will only be able to do it after I attain the void fragmentation realm. Ningfan scanned the thatched cottage with his spirit sense. When he saw that Luoyu was still in a deep sleep, his eyes flashed and he shook his head with a smile. Luoyu's primordial spirit had already recovered to the 1st heavenly layer of the void fragmentation realm. Moreover, it was showing signs of advancing to the 2nd heavenly layer. The injuries accumulated from using the secret technique that day had all recovered, but she still hadn't woken up. Before this, Ningfan only thought that she had yet to fully recover from her injuries. Now that Ningfan's cultivation base had improved tremendously, he could tell that the reason why Luoyu did not wake up had nothing to do with her injuries. Instead, her body was sleeping on its own. She was trying to use the remaining medicinal power of the dark golden bamboo leaves to break through to the 2nd heavenly layer of the void fragmentation realm in one go. Only then would she truly wake up. In other words, Luoyu would not wake up unless her cultivation base recovers to the 2nd heavenly layer of the void fragmentation realm. There are still 4 dark golden bamboo leaves. If I can obtain 20 tufts of 100,000 years old spiritual herbs, and use them to harmonize the bamboo leaves, I will certainly be able to wake little you air up and restore her 2nd heavenly layer void fragmentation realm strength. At that time, she will be an expert at the 2nd heavenly layer of the void fragmentation realm. With her by my side, I won't be afraid even if a void fragmentation realm expert of the rain world attacks me. In a flash, Ningfan flew far away from the thatched cottage, and subdued the rogue devil 10 million li away from the cottage. Even though the rogue devil would not escape from the storage pouch, there would certainly be great fluctuations when it is subdued. If he gets too close to it, he might disturb Luo Yu's sleep. Standing amidst the heavy yin qi of heaven and earth, Ning Fan took a deep breath. He shook his cauldron ring and took out the storage pouch that contained the rogue devil. The surface of the storage pouch was engraved with layers upon layers of swastika. Even through the layers of seals, Ning Fan could still feel the monstrous devil qi inside the storage pouch. Ning Fan's eyes flashed with determination. He slightly opened the pouch to reveal a small opening. Immediately, monstrous devil qi gushed out from the pouch like a flood. At the same time, an excited and wild laughter resounded across heaven and earth. In the midst of the laughter, a black shadow suddenly darted out from the gap of the storage pouch, trying to get out of the pouch and enter the profound yin world. Haha! The storage pouch is finally open. I can finally escape. This black shadow was the rogue devil that the Wei ancestor raised. His laughter was mixed with the terrifying aura force of the 9th heavenly layer of the void fragmentation realm. It drowned Ning Fan like a flood. Ning Fan's eyes widened. He immediately activated his ancestral talisman, an ancestral blood to resist the devil might of the rogue devil. This was his first time experiencing the devil might of a rogue devil. It was the aura force of a 9th heavenly layer void fragmentation realm expert. If he did not have the ancestral blood and ancestral talisman, he would certainly be intimidated by its might. Rumble. The rogue devil tried to get out of the storage pouch. However, his head bumped into an invisible barrier at the entrance of the pouch, producing a deafening sound. The rogue devil let out a cry of pain. He was greatly shocked. To his horror, he realized that even if the pouch was opened, he still could not escape from it. This is the boundary barrier of the realm. Besides, judging from its strength, it's a dimensional barrier that can only be formed in a medium-sized world. As long as the Realm Lord does not allow it, the boundary barrier will prevent all living beings from entering the inner world. Damn it! This is impossible. Why am I kept in this medium-sized world? Who is the Realm Lord of this medium-sized world? Get out here right now. Hurry up and remove the barrier and let me out of this world. Otherwise, once I escape from this storage pouch, I will certainly bathe this medium-sized world in blood. Noisy. When the rogue devil was making a ruckus, Ning Fan suddenly released the might force of his ancestral blood and suppressed the storage pouch. The might force of the 4 drops of ancestral blood was extremely vast. Even if the rogue devil was at the 9th heavenly layer of the void fragmentation realm, as long as he was still a member of the devil race, he would feel the humbleness and fear of his bloodline. In front of the might force of the bloodline, the rogue devil's expression changed dramatically. Ancestral devil. How is this possible? Even though he had been trapped in the storage pouch for countless years, the rogue devil knew that there were only 9 great ancestral devils left in the future, and all of them had been suppressed. He could not imagine that there was a living ancestral devil right outside the storage pouch. However, after observing it carefully, he realized that even though the ancestral devil bloodline outside the storage pouch was strong, its cultivation base seemed to be very weak. Its chi was only at the void refinement realm. He could not understand why a void refinement realm devil race member would possess ancestral grade devil blood. Then, he realized that the chi of this ancestral devil was a little familiar, as if he had seen it somewhere before. It's you. You're that little cultivator in the past. Humph. It seems like you're quite fortunate to have broken through to the void refinement realm and cultivated the ancestral blood. However, in my eyes, you're still just an ant. Since you can stay in this medium-sized world, you must know the Realm Lord. Quickly call the Realm Lord here and remove the boundary barrier to let me out. Otherwise, humph. The rogue devil suddenly recalled that the chi of this ancestral devil clearly belonged to Ning Fan, who had obtained the storage pouch in the past. However, what the rogue devil could not understand was that it had only been several tens of years since the last time he met Ning Fan. What was more, he did not expect was that Ning Fan was the Realm Lord of this medium-sized world. He thought that the Realm Lord was someone else. Several tens of years ago, Ning Fan was just at the harmonious spirit chi realm. In just a few tens of years, he had already attained the void refinement realm, and even cultivated the ancestral grade devil blood. To the rogue devils, this was unavoidably rather shocking. However, this rogue devil was arrogant by nature. His cultivation base was terrifying and he was not afraid of Ning Fan at all. His tone was incomparably arrogant, as if he was the king of heaven. It seems that you still remember my aura. Furthermore, your personality still annoys me. I need to teach you a lesson. Talisman appear. Ning Fan did not have the intention to catch up with the rogue devil. He directly waved his hand and summoned his ancestral talisman. He activated the power of the talisman to produce slave marks, and sent them into his storage pouch. Every slave mark had the power to enslave a soul formation realm fiend, and all of them were planted on the scattered devils. Immediately, the scattered devils' blood-curdling screams rang through the air. He was furious to the extreme, and there was even a trace of fear. How dare you enslave me? You're courting death. Ah. When the slave marks entered one's body, the pain was no small matter. Even a rogue devil would not be able to endure it. However, after each slave mark was inserted into the rogue devil's body, it would not be able to subdue the devil due to the lack of power of the slave marks. Ning Fan frowned. Without stopping, he continued to plant slave marks on the rogue devil for 2 hours straight. As for the rogue devil, its screams also lasted for 2 hours. In the end, it screamed until it was hoarse from the pain. Even so, it still could not be subdued by Ning Fan. However, it was obvious that it was somewhat afraid of Ning Fan. His words also changed from cursing to begging for mercy and negotiating with Ning Fan. Little cultivator. Quickly stop. Let's talk this out. These slave marks are really killing me. Little cultivator. Even though I'm not willing to be your slave, as long as you are willing to let me go, I can promise to help you a few times and eliminate a few strong enemies for you. What do you think? Little cultivator. The rogue devil kept trying to bewitch Ning Fan with words. However, Ning Fan did not believe any of it. If he could not subdue the rogue devil, he would definitely not let it out of his storage pouch. This devil was arrogant and bloodthirsty. Once it escapes, it would not keep its promise at all. Perhaps it would swallow Ning Fan whole, and then go to destroy the rain world. Ning Fan's eyes became darker and darker. He kept sending out slave marks, but none of them could subdue the rogue devil. He shook his head and sighed. It seems like I can't subdue this devil with my mid-reckless devil realm cultivation base. Ning Fan stopped using the ancestral talisman, and stopped planting slave marks on the rogue devil. His cultivation base was not strong enough to control the rogue devil with the slave marks. Thus, it would be futile for him to plant slave marks on it. Since the slave marks could not be used for now and the All-Heaven relic was already destroyed, Ning Fan's mind raced. There were only 2 ways to subdue the rogue devil. The first was to increase his cultivation base. When his cultivation base was higher, he would try to subdue the rogue devil. The second was to refine a slave treasure, and use it to subdue the rogue devil. Slave treasures were an ancient magic treasure that was used to subdue demons and devils. However, it had been lost for a long time. Today, only a few Buddhist sects knew the method to refine it. In ancient times, many cultivators of the Buddhist sects were good at refining slave treasures, which were specifically used to subdue ancient demons and devils. After unifying the Misthorn clan, Ning Fan took away all the devil scriptures of the Misthorn clan. Among them, he found an ancient scripture which recorded the method to refine a certain kind of slave treasure. That slave treasure was called Devil Subduing Hoop. The method to refine it was left behind by the progenitor of the Misthorn clan. According to rumors, there was once a great expert of the Buddhist sects who tried to subdue the progenitor of the Misthorn clan with the Devil Subduing Hoop. However, he was killed by the latter instead. The method to refine the Devil Subduing Hoop was obtained by the progenitor of the Misthorn clan. The Devil Subduing Hoop was also divided into different grades. The higher the grade of the hoop, the rarer the spiritual ores needed to refine it. Unfortunately, Ning Fan could not even gather enough spiritual ores to refine the Devil Subduing Hoop of the lowest grade. Many of the spiritual ores in the hoop had already gone extinct in the rain world. Otherwise, if he could refine the Devil Subduing Hoop, He would just need to put the golden hoop on the rogue devil. Then, no matter how powerful the rogue devil was, it would never be able to escape from Ningfan's control. Whether or not I can refine the devil-subduing hoop to subdue the rogue devil depends on my luck. I can't force it. The only thing I can hope for is to continuously improve my strength and use my own methods to enslave the rogue devil for my own use. Let's put this matter aside for now. I'll first borrow the devil chi of the rogue devil to replenish the power of the jade slips. Talisman Devour. Ningfan patted his storage pouch and took out 15 jade slips. Each of them contained the remnant power of one of the past old ancestors of the Misthorn clan. When he activated the ancestral talisman, it formed a vortex that devoured devil chi. It continuously extracted devil chi from his storage pouch and channeled it into the jade slips. Inside the storage pouch, the rogue devil heaved a sigh of relief when he saw Ningfan stop planting the slave marks. However, his heart was filled with resentment towards Ningfan. A mere void refinement realm insignificant cultivator actually dares to subdue me with slave marks. How audacious of you. Humph. Don't give me a chance to escape from your storage pouch. Otherwise you will definitely die. Just as the rogue devil's eyes flashed with ferocious light, he suddenly realized that the devil chi in his body was being extracted by someone irresistibly. Wisps of devil chi were being drawn out of his storage pouch. Along with the loss of his devil chi, the rogue devil's cultivation base was also declining bit by bit. This time, the rogue devil was really frightened. He finally realized that it was Ningfan who was extracting his devil chi and crippling his cultivation base. Under normal circumstances, Ningfan would not be able to extract the devil chi of a rogue devil expert no matter what. However, the rogue devil was sealed and Ningfan had the ancestral talisman. Hence, he could extract the devil chi of this rogue devil. By extracting the devil chi to replenish the power of the jade slips, if Ningfan could not control the rogue devil directly, he would just use the rogue devil as nourishment for the recovery of the jade slips. In just a few breaths, Ningfan had already extracted a large amount of devil chi and increased the power of the 15 jade slips. All of the 14 void refinement realm attack jade slips had reached the standard of a first heavenly layer void fragmentation realm attack. As for the attack at the first heavenly layer of the void fragmentation realm, it had leaped to the power of the second heavenly layer of the void fragmentation realm. As for the poor rogue devil, his cultivation base was extracted by Ningfan, causing his cultivation base to fall from the 9th heavenly layer of the void fragmentation realm to the 8th heavenly layer. For the first time, the rogue devil realized that Ningfan, who looked kind and gentle, was actually so ruthless. He extracted his devil chi and crippled his cultivation base. Gritting his teeth, the rogue devil made a series of hand seals and spurted out blood continuously. He used the blood seals to lock his devil chi and prevented it from being extracted. However, the backlash he suffered was definitely not light. You're ruthless. The rogue devil gnashed his teeth. He hated and feared Ningfan's methods. One moment he planted slave marks on him, causing him unbearable pain. The next moment he extracted his devil chi and crippled his cultivation base. He no longer dared to scold Ningfan. At least he did not dare to do so openly in case he angered Ningfan and provoked him to use other extreme methods on him. What a pity. I didn't expect you to know how to seal your own devil chi. You're indeed a rogue devil. At first, I wanted to extract your cultivation base to the 6th heavenly layer of the void fragmentation realm in one go, and then try to subdue you. Now, it seems like this idea is impossible to realize. To Ningfan, the rogue devil was just a tool to deal with Moksha Sovereign. Moksha Sovereign was at the 5th heavenly layer of the void fragmentation realm. As long as the rogue devil's cultivation base was higher than Moksha Sovereign's, it would be enough. The lower the cultivation base, the easier it would be to control. If he can cripple the rogue devil's cultivation base to the 6th heavenly layer of the void fragmentation realm in one go, the difficulty of subduing the rogue devil would certainly be greatly reduced. Or if he could extract all of the rogue devil's devil chi and increase the destructive power of the jade slips to the 6th heavenly layer of the void fragmentation realm, it would certainly be able to severely injure Moksha Sovereign. Unfortunately, the rogue devil had sealed his own devil chi. Hence, it would be difficult to realize these ideas. Fortunately, after absorbing the devil chi of the rogue devil, the power of the 15 jade slips had greatly increased. Excluding the steel of sun and moon, Ningfan already had 17 first heavenly layer void fragmentation realm attacks to protect himself. He even had a second heavenly layer void fragmentation realm attack, which was enough to severely injure a first heavenly layer void fragmentation realm old monster. With so many trump cards, Ningfan could protect himself even if he faces a first heavenly layer void fragmentation realm expert. Slightly crippling the rogue devil's cultivation base, which he could not subdue in exchange for so many trump cards, was just too worthwhile. He resealed the storage pouch and kept it into his cauldron ring. The surroundings returned to silence. I might stay on Seekong Demon Island for a while, but it won't be for too long. I can go to the Pill Island on my way back. I wonder if I can break through to the 6th Revolution Pill Refinement Realm with the help of the Soul Washing Pond. With my current trump cards, it will be a piece of cake for me to kill the 8 ancestors when I return to the Giant Devil clan. With me around, Feng Shuiyan will certainly be fine. After that, I can go home. Even though only a few decades had passed in the outside world, his bone age had already reached 500 years. He had already spent 500 years cultivating in various ways. Thus, he began to miss the scenery of Yu country a little. He had promised old ancestor Dong Su that he would help him break through to the void refinement realm in the Sovereign Tomb. There were still 10 years before the Sovereign Tomb would open. He still had some blood wine which would take around 10 years to brew. He had promised Hong Yi a small favor. However, he would have to wait at least 10 years before Hong Yi would come to him for help. Within these 10 years, there was no need for him to stay in the Endless Sea. He could go back to Yu country to have a look first. To cultivators, returning to their hometown was a luxury. Once they embark on the path of cultivation, it was hard to predict when they would return. Thinking of the beauties in his hometown, Ningfan let out a relieved smile. If he returns to Yu country this time, he could probably change back to his real name. He had already become so strong that he no longer needed to conceal his identity. There was also no need for him to deceive the world to gain a reputation. He was neither a vile person nor a gentleman. However, he would most likely have no regrets along the way. **************************** Ningfan took out a stalk of bell orchid. It was the stalk that he prepared to give to Jihe. A gentle breeze blew and the bell orchid emitted a clear and melodious sound of wind chimes, making Ningfan's eyes blur. Before daybreak, he did not cultivate like he usually did. Instead, he just closed his eyes and listened to the sound of the wind chimes. Chapter 489. The immortal jade, spiritual herbs, devil scriptures and many other treasures of the Mist Horn clan were all taken away by Ningfan. The members of the Mist Horn clan were suppressed by the slave marks. They would never be able to leave Tai Chi Devil City. Even the 2 void refinement realm experts, Gui Jiao and Yin Gong, had their cultivation bases crippled. They were imprisoned in the clan, and were never allowed to leave until their lifespans came to an end. The 4 great devil clans that were once prominent in the past had declined overnight, and became Ningfan's slaves. This matter shocked the entire world. Suyan did not have any objection to such a punishment. She just brought along the 12 silver-scaled horned dragons, and left the Mist Horn village with Ningfan. On this day, a dazzling silver wooden boat suddenly emerged from the depths of the tranquil sea. It soared into the sky and flew into the clouds. This wooden boat was a rare traveling treasure of ancient cultivators. It was pulled by 12 horned dragons and its speed was infinitely close to the void-pierced stage. This was naturally Su Yan's doing. As the former Mist Horn clan's clan leader, it wasn't strange for her to obtain a top-grade escape artifact. Ningfan stood at the bow of the silver boat with Su Yan and little Ming Ke standing behind him. As for the group of Divine Transformation Realm cultivators who followed Ming Ke, they were in charge of steering the boat. When the 12 half-step Void Refinement Realm silver-scaled horned dragons were flying, their auras were extremely great. All the cultivators along the way could sense the powerful aura of the silver ship from afar. They didn't dare to approach it for fear of angering the powerhouse on the ship. Only a few old monsters recognized the origin of the silver boat, and guessed that Su Yan and Ning Fan would be on it. They wanted to catch up to the silver boat and pay their respects to Ning Fan, but they could not catch up to the boat at all. Ning Fan had no intention to pay attention to the cultivators along the way. He kept his eyes closed and listened to the sounds of the wind. In his mind, he was planning the next step of his cultivation. The cultivation of an ancient devil in the middle reckless devil realm was equivalent to the second golden body realm. However, it was far stronger than the second golden body realm. It was almost on par with the third golden body realm. Even though his physical body had broken through to the reckless devil realm, his magic power was still at the half-step void refinement realm. In the end, he still needed to truly break through to the void refinement realm. Moreover, after breaking through to the void refinement realm, he still needed to make plans to advance step by step towards the void fragmentation realm. It had been 40 years since he left Yu country. Only he himself knew how difficult it was for him to reach this stage in just 40 years. When one's cultivation base had reached this level, the difficulty of advancing to the void fragmentation realm was far beyond the imagination of ordinary people. In the lower 9 worlds, only void fragmentation realm experts were the existences that truly stood at the peak. All those below the void fragmentation realm were ants. To him, breaking through to the void fragmentation realm was still a little out of his reach. Pills, Dao fruits and cauldrons. If I want to break through to the void fragmentation realm, all 3 of them are indispensable. It's been a long time since I caught a human cauldron for cultivation. With my current cultivation realm, I need to at least catch a void refinement realm human cauldron to cultivate. Unfortunately, the rain world is huge, and there are only a few void refinement realm female cultivators. It's not enough for me to cultivate at all. Ning Fan opened his eyes and looked at Su Yan from the corner of his eyes. He shook his head and remained silent. To Ning Fan, Su Yan was an excellent human cauldron. Be it her cultivation level or appearance, she was the best choice. However, it was impossible for Ning Fan to pluck her because she was his devil concubine. Sensing Ning Fan's gaze, Su Yan smiled and gracefully stroked the hair on her temples. There is lust in Master's eyes. Do you want me to serve you? That moment of desire to pluck the furnace did not escape Su Yan's wise eyes. Not at the moment. Ning Fan chuckled and shook his head. Even though he had a good impression of Su Yan, it was not the love between a man and a woman. Moreover, he had never treated her as a human cauldron. Thus, he naturally would not have a relationship with her recklessly. Boom. Above the clouds in the distance, a loud cracking sound suddenly resounded. Pieces of the void were forcefully torn apart by someone. At the place where the void was torn apart, 3 void inquiry stage experts' powerful magic power fluctuations could be felt from the battle. It was enough to make any divine transformation realm cultivator tremble in fear. Immediately, all the divine transformation realm cultivators on the silver boat became nervous. Ming Ke also stopped chewing on her pills with a solemn expression. As for Su Yan, she immediately took out her magic treasure and stood in front of Ning Fan with full vigilance. Her brows were tightly knitted together. Ning Fan's eyes turned cold. He spread out his spirit sense and found 3 void inquiry stage old monsters tearing apart the void 100,000 li in front of him. One of them was chasing after the other 2. At first, when Ning Fan sensed the magic power fluctuations from their battle, he even thought that they were related to the people who locked their killing intent on them. However, after taking a closer look, Ning Fan realized that the 3 void inquiry stage old monsters had nothing to do with the locking of their killing intent. The 2 void inquiry stage old monsters were both dressed in green robes. They originally had white hair and a youthful complexion, but now, they looked extremely miserable. Their bodies were riddled with wounds and their chi was weak. They were desperately running away in a panicked manner. The one who was chasing after the 2 green-robed old men was a red-haired lady with heavy gloomy chi. Her skin was pale but her lips were as red as blood. Her eyes were bewitching but cruel. That red-haired lady was the same as the 2 old men. Both of them were at the void inquiry stage. However, her strength was almost at the unrivaled void inquiry stage. The 2 old men were far from being comparable to her. In addition, the 2 old men were severely injured. If there were no accidents, It would only be a matter of time before the red-haired lady caught up to them and killed them. The two old men definitely would not be able to defeat her. Ning Fan withdrew his expression and gave the order to turn the bow of the silver boat around. He had no intention of getting involved in this battle. The two green-robed old men were originally fighting against the red-haired lady in the void. However, they were not her match and nearly died in her hands. They had no choice but to tear apart the void and flee in a panic. However, they suddenly saw Ning Fan and the others at this place. As soon as they saw Ning Fan and Su Yan, the two Void Inquiry stage experts on the silver boat, they felt as if they had seen a life-saving straw. Thus, they naturally wanted to ask for help. Even though the two of them did not know Ning Fan, they knew a little about Su Yan, who was a Void Refinement Realm expert of the Rain World. They knew how strong she was. The two of them desperately dodged the red-haired lady's attacks and hurriedly boarded the silver boat. Then they panted heavily and asked Su Yan for help. "Are you Fairy Su of the Misthorn clan? The two elders of Ling Nan are in trouble and I happen to meet you here. I hope that Fairy Su and this fellow Taoist can lend us a hand. We will certainly reward you handsomely after this matter is over." The two old men did not know Ning Fan's strength. However, they reckoned that if they have Su Yan's help, it should not be a problem for them to deal with the red-haired lady. The two elders of Ling Nan? Su Yan was slightly stunned. She seemed to have heard of the two old men's names before. However, judging from their expressions, she was not familiar with them. Ning Fan, on the other hand, frowned. After the two elders of Ling Nan fled to the silver boat, the red-haired lady who was chasing after them also locked her killing intent on the silver boat. She began to attack the boat with all her might, forcing the silver boat to stop. Those who protect the two of them will die. The red-haired lady's killing intent was thick. Obviously, the red-haired lady had already regarded Ning Fan and the others as the accomplices of the two elders of Ling Nan. Thus, she decided to kill them all as well. The red-haired lady held a gigantic sickle in the shape of a blood moon. Each of her blood-red slashes at the silver boat was comparable to an attack from an unrivaled Void Inquiry stage expert. It was enough to severely injure an ordinary Void Glimpse stage expert. Su Yan strode forward gracefully as she raised her white hand, and a violet copper dragon horn appeared. It emitted rays of violet and red light that dispersed the slashes of the red-haired woman, and she seemed to be on par with the red-haired woman. Even though Ning Fan did not have the intention to save the two elders of Ling Nan, the red-haired lady's action of attacking the silver boat made Ning Fan's eyes turn cold. He was just worrying about not having enough human cauldrons to capture. Since this red-haired lady attacked him indiscriminately, he did not mind keeping a Void Refinement Realm human cauldron. "Yin Air, step back. Let me handle this." "Why did you call me Yin Air?" Su Yan's cheeks turned slightly red. Her almond-shaped eyes moved slightly, but she secretly hid her redness and stepped back obediently. Ning Fan, on the other hand, leaped into the sky from the silver boat and dashed towards the red-haired lady's slashes. This scene greatly exceeded the expectations of the two elders of Ling Nan. The two Ling Nan elders were rogue cultivators in the Rain World. They had been out searching for ancient cultivators' remains all year round, searching for all kinds of opportunities. They rarely paid attention to the rumors in the outside world. Thus, they naturally did not know that Ning Fan's reputation had risen among the Void Refinement Realm cultivators of the Rain World. Even though they could tell that Ning Fan had the chi of a Void Inquiry stage expert, they also noticed that he had just broken through to the Void Inquiry stage not long ago. His foundation was rather shallow. Therefore, the two of them did not think that Ning Fan was that strong. They also did not think that Ning Fan could fight against the red-haired lady. In their minds, the only one who could compete with the red-haired woman was the Misthorn tribe's patriarch, Su Yan. Of course, the two of them didn't even know that Su Yan had left the Misthorn tribe. Seeing that Su Yan and the red-haired woman were evenly matched, the two heaved a sigh of relief. They were about to help Su Yan fight back against the red-haired woman. Unexpectedly at this moment, Ning Fan asked Su Yan to retreat with just a sentence and fought the red-haired lady alone. In the eyes of the two elders of Ling Nan, this was undoubtedly an extremely stupid move. "Fellow Taoist, this red-haired lady is extremely strong. She is almost unrivaled among Void Inquiry stage experts. She is definitely not someone you can fight against. Before the two of them could finish their words, they suddenly froze on the spot, dumbfounded. They saw Ning Fan facing the red-haired lady's scythe attacks with ease compared to Su Yan. Just by raising his palm, he could use the strength of his physical body to crush the slashes of the blood moon. Just by waving his fist, he could deliver an attack that was comparable to an unrivaled void inquiry stage expert, causing the red-haired lady to be in a difficult situation. Judging from this strength, Ning Fan was obviously not weaker than Su Yan. He definitely had the strength of an unrivaled expert among void inquiry stage experts. The two elders of Lingnan no longer dared to underestimate Ning Fan. Both of them realized that they had greatly underestimated Ning Fan's strength. However, the two of them did not understand. If Ning Fan had the strength of an unrivaled expert among void inquiry stage experts, he would certainly have become famous in the Rain World a long time ago. Even if the two of them did not care about the affairs of the Rain World, they should have more or less heard of Ning Fan's name. Why did he look so unfamiliar to them? How dare you stop me from killing someone? Are you tired of living? The red-haired lady was enraged. She realized that her attacks could not do anything to Ning Fan at all. Instead, she was being suppressed by Ning Fan. In her rage, layers of blood-red baleful qi suddenly appeared around the lady's body. The baleful qi seeped into her red hair. All of a sudden, her elegant and soft long hair seemed to have come alive, turning into long blood-red snakes. Each of them opened their bloody mouths and spat out blood-red flames at Ning Fan. 100,000 strands of her hair were equivalent to 100,000 blood-red snakes. The lady's tone was cold. She performed a hand seal, and 100,000 streams of blood-red fiery rain shot out from her hair. The 100,000 fiery rain contained the lady's determination to kill Ning Fan. Her killing intent was terrifying. Killing secret technique, snake hair technique. The combined attack of 100,000 fiery rain was already infinitely close to a void pierce stage attack. Even if the two elders of Lingnan were at their peak, they would not be able to withstand this attack. Both of them turned pale with fright when they saw the fiery snake hair. Ning Fan, however, remained calm and unruffled in the face of these fiery snakes. He gently raised his palm, and a vortex that could devour flames rose from the center of his palm, absorbing all of the fiery snakes. Fire plucking technique. That powerful attack that was comparable to a void pierce stage attack was easily broken by Ning Fan just like that. How is this possible? This fellow Taoist actually withstood these fiery snakes so easily. Even a void pierce stage old monster might not be able to do it so easily, right? Indestructible fire body. It must be the indestructible fire body. This fellow Taoist's way of restraining the fiery snakes is like the Emperor of Flames. It must be because he has the legendary indestructible fire body. While the two of them were exclaiming in surprise, the red-haired lady was utterly shocked. She did not expect that her strongest secret technique would be broken by Ning Fan so easily. She waved her blood moon scythe, and was about to use other magic techniques to attack Ning Fan. At the next moment, she saw Ning Fan suddenly summoning his 8 black burning wings. With a flap of his wings, he approached her at a speed that was comparable to a void pierce stage expert. Then he pointed his plucking finger at her breasts. His attack was too fast. It was so fast that the red-haired lady had no time to defend herself. She could only let her breasts be penetrated. Her cold eyes wished that she could cut him into 1,000 pieces. However, as soon as her breasts were touched by Ning Fan, traces of finger force immediately spread to her entire body, making it difficult for her to mobilize her magic power. Her entire body began to feel numb and soft. Her delicate body began to heat up. She was obviously affected by Ning Fan's bewitching technique. How dare you? How dare you? Her face turned red in an extremely short period of time. She was panting heavily. She could not even speak clearly. This bewitching technique was too overbearing. It was the first time in her life that the red-haired lady saw someone who could subdue a void inquiry stage female cultivator with a single finger. Before she could resist, her body had already fallen into Ning Fan's arms. Ning Fan continuously pointed his plucking finger at her, and all of her magic power was completely sealed. So what if you have a bewitching technique? Secret killing technique. Killing Sense Technique. Waves of faint red spirit sense power rushed out of the lady's sea of consciousness. Each of them was covered with killing intent, and turned into blood-red spirit sense blades. All of a sudden, they slashed at the top of Ningfan's head. At the same time, they also slashed at everyone on the silver boat. This faint red spirit sense was extremely similar to sword sense. If someone could pry into the lady's sea of consciousness, they would certainly realize that her sea of consciousness had already been completely cultivated into the form of killing intent. It was her killing sense and killing sense. The fact that this lady could cultivate her killing sense really surprised Ningfan. When she used her killing sense to attack Ming Ke and Su Yan, Ningfan was a little angry. When the lady released her killing sense, Ningfan also released his sword sense and stood in front of everyone, clashing with her killing sense time and time again. Boom boom boom. After every clash of spirit sense, the lady would let out a muffled groan. In the end, all of her killing sense was shattered by Ningfan's sword sense. She stared at Ningfan in disbelief. She still wanted to use her trump card to kill Ningfan. This time, however, Ningfan did not give her the chance to attack again. He directly pointed his finger at the top of her head, causing her to faint. Then, he tied her up with a magic treasure rope and tossed her into his cauldron ring. It had been a long time since he caught a human cauldron. However, his current technique was not rusty at all. He might not be willing to pluck Su Yan, but he did not have the slightest bit of pity for a ruthless lady who wanted to take his life as soon as she appeared. This was a human cauldron that delivered itself to his doorstep. The only thing that Ningfan was concerned about was the background and identity of this red-haired lady. The trump cards that she had seemed to have a powerful background. From the moment Ningfan made his move to capturing the red-haired lady alive, it had only been 10 breaths or so. Everything happened in the blink of an eye. The two elders of Ling Nan were completely stunned. It was hard for them to imagine that the red-haired lady who made them run for their lives was actually captured by Ningfan so easily. Tell me, this lady's identity and the reason why she chased after the two of you. If the two of you hide anything from me, don't blame me for being merciless. Ningfan's eyes turned cold and glanced at the two elders. Immediately, their souls trembled. They did not dare to look at Ningfan's eyes directly. They also did not dare to hide anything from Ningfan. Ningfan's strength was too terrifying. If he could even capture the red-haired lady alive, it would not be difficult for him to kill the two elders. It's a long story. It's all our fault. When we were searching for an ancient cultivator's ruin, we accidentally found a realm passageway that was filled with dense killing qi. That's how this calamity was triggered. The two elders smiled apologetically at Ningfan and told him what happened. That you're tuning in to the Limei's Wuxia Whispers YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.